Hi everyone, good morning and welcome to our event, Women in Information Retrieval. At the Fire 2020. So, so before starting the program of the event, I would just like to take a few minutes to discuss about why we are having this particular event uh, for by and of the women for in information retrieval. So actually, as women researchers, we have realized that despite of all our best efforts and obviously cooperation and constant support from our male allies, we still have a very significant and visible gender gap and disparity in the STEM and also specifically in the information retrieval research community. So therefore, we thought that if we can come up with an event where all the women researchers like us, we can get together and we can discuss about the challenges that we face and how together we can overcome these obstacles and also can encourage more and more women researchers to join the community, to join the cause and help each other develop a support system, a mentorship or buddy network to breach this gender disparity in the relevant in the information retrieval community. So towards this we have taken certain we have thought that there are some important components. The first one is often when we talk about the technical domains, we only focus on the kind of this research technical knowledges and know-how is things like that. We start with the paper presentations and end with that. But as women, we all realize that actually the challenges and are uh, far greater than just being the technical ones. We need to constantly balance our the work life situations. We need to take difficult decisions regarding prioritizing and all. So the non-technical aspects, all the or the mental and emotional well-being, those are an integral part of being a successful researcher, especially when you are a woman. uh, Towards that, in this event it is not only a technical events, and we have decided to have talk by eminent psychiatrists to help us cope up with these challenges and address these issues that the we like whenever we talk about the gender disparity, it is why we don't have like more numbers of women researchers in the top positions, top institutes. The reason is not due to only the technical knowledge gap, but it may be due to how our society and communities are structured and what kind of roles we are expected to play, and how that causes a significant stress on us, especially with focus towards this recent pandemic situation in because we have all heard from different segments of our life from different women that now as the workplace and the home has marched, the the challenges have actually increased, and during the period of lockdowns also the burden of household chores, they were there, they still are for many of us. And how we can and some of our works have suffered for that. But while the so one of the problem is that the metric against which we are like our performances are evaluated, often these metrics are decided not taken into considerations the different important aspects of of the roles and responsibilities of a woman researcher. So that's why we often like feel although uh, we contribute to lots of social aspects, to our families, to our near and dear ones, and which are very integral part. Our contributions are kind of not measured up properly or not acknowledged to the level it should be, and this has become more apparent during this pandemic and the lockdown time. So we wanted to address that also, and apart from that we also have some paper presentations. So these are not regular paper presentations, they are more like the work in progress. So the reason we decided to have this kind of work in progress, because many researchers, especially the young female researchers, they need encouragement during the beginning of their career. And it may happen, the all of us who are in the committee today, we have been privileged some way or other to achieve our career aspirations and goals. Many of the times when the young female scholars may not be so fortunate, and particularly true for the different small and regional colleges that we have in India and universities. So we feel that we need to connect with these people, and while there are good talents, they may need some feedbacks and encouragement and a platform to share their ideas and the challenges they are facing. So keeping in mind, so we have made this special paper presentation session. So these young researchers can discuss their work, and there will be the panelists who can give constructive feedback to take this work forward. And we are also hoping that from this event and from these connections, these presentations, discussions, we will be able to form a sustainable support system. So whose uh, whose area will be much greater than only just an event per year. So to at the end of the presentations, we will also discuss how we can take this initiative forward, how we can spread it, and also how we can make real impacts in the lives of the women researchers in the field of information retrieval. So with that, I would like to hand it over to Mansi, Dr. Mansi Rarke from VNIT Ragpur. Uh, so, Mansi, can you please introduce Dr.
Yes,
Ab?
yes. Hello, everyone. I am just making sure that Dr. Abha has joined. I will introduce her in just a minute. So please hold on.
Okay, by the time Dr. Abha is joining, I would like Dr. Varsha Pathak, who is a very senior faculty at IMR Jalgaon, to share a few words. Ma'am, maybe for 2 to 3 minutes. If you can talk about like
Are you
the
able to
why
talk?
we are having this event. So,
Yeah, yeah. So, very good morning to all. Can you hear me?
yes, we can. Please go
Uh-huh.
on.
I'm Dr. Varsha Pathak from Institute of Management and Research, Jalgaon. It is a renowned institute, and we could say that it is a founder management institute from our region, that is Khandesh region, and it is agriculture-based region actually. And ours is the North Maharashtra University. It is now named as KBC North Maharashtra University. Kavitri Bahinabai Chaudhary. She was a renowned poetry, and on her name now our university is known. So it is Kavitri Bahinabai Chaudhary North Maharashtra University. And most important thing I would like to say that lot of research at our place is going on natural language processing as well as image processing, and lot of work is being done, and we are having support of School of Computer Sciences from university itself. Number of professors are taking interest, lot of project work is going on, and that's why we came to know about fire also, and we have participated, Ranjana Zinjore madam, and we got acquainted with all the fraternity, female fraternity, mainly Manjira, Manju, we met together, and now we are collaborating to have such a platform and for women mainly, and this is the first such type of platform we are providing on the base with the support of fire people, and we are very much thankful to them to provide us this slot for inviting all the women faculty from all over India, all over nation. Will start next year, we'll have more grip on this platform. I'm very much sure about it. And today we are having good speakers also, and few faculty members are participating for their presentation in work in progress. And we are looking forward to provide this platform for women at the whole nation and world, and come together to discuss their challenges they are facing, mainly for the collection, data collection part, for implementation part. Lot of hurdles are there. They are looking after their families, their workplaces, and still they are taking interest, and good work is going on our region also. And we are look forward to have association with fire, especially through this platform in future. Thank you very much. Over to you, Manjira.
Yeah, so thank you, Dr. Dr. Pathak. So, just in the meantime, let me introduce the team. So, my name is Momonjira Sinha, and I am an assistant professor at IIT Kharagpur. And with me in the organizing team, we have very excellent women researchers as well as organizers who made it possible to put this event together at the very last minute. So we have Dr. Namita Mittal, Associate Professor from MNIT Jaipur, Dr. Varsha Pathak. She's professor at IMR Jalgaon, Dr. Mansi Rarke, assistant professor from VNIT Nagpur, Dr. Ranjana Zinjore, assistant professor
What
from
is?
Srimati Gigi Khadase College, and Manjulata Joshi. She is assistant professor at International School of Informatics and Management, Jaipur, and she is also a PhD scholar. She will present her paper today. Miss Shikha Mundra, assistant professor, Manipal University. She is also pursuing her PhD. So this also gives us an idea that how many roles of women can manage, as they are teaching, they are pursuing their research, they are also managing their kids and households. So that's why it's multitasking in the real sense. And we have Miss Sakshi. She is a PhD scholar at MNIT Jaipur, and Miss Manvi, she's PhD scholar at NIT Kurukshetra. Uh, and also, we would like to take this opportunity to thank the fire organizing team, especially Parth, Bhargav, and Surbendu for letting us conduct this event, and also for providing us with all the tech support and the time, the slots, the contacts uh, for making it possible. So, as I was saying at the beginning, that without our male allies, without our friends from the other gender, just doing these events like women in IR or women in technology, they will be limited after a certain point. So thank you all. So by the time Dr. Abha is joining, I would just like to say to the participants that this is not an unidirectional event. That it is not like someone will just present and the participants will listen. So. We are trying to have a dedicated discussion session at the end, but even during these breaks, if you have if you feel anything, if you want to share something, please feel free to do so, because we are really looking forward to active suggestions and cooperation from your side, and also we want more and more people to join us, new people to take the responsibility for the coming years. So, let me put on the schedule. So Dr. Abha is joining in a couple of minutes. I believe she is having some connectivity issues at her site. So,
Manjira, can we ask Namita ma'am to say a few words?
yes, yes. So before that, I would just like to take, as it's a short break. So I see Parth here. So I would like to request Parth to say a few words, because Parth is from the fire organizing team. And, and thank you,
Well,
Parth, for your support.
no, thanks to you and Namita ma'am and the whole team for making this a possibility. It's been a very tough year, and especially organizing everything online without any physical presence is difficult. So I thank all of you for a wonderful job, and I hope if this continues next year. I hope this is just a starting point, and we can do this every year. Um, I see only a few male participants today, and I do hope that next year you can get more support from the other gender as well. Um, so, all best wishes for today's event and all the future events. And thanks again for organizing all this.
Thank you so much, Parth. So, Dr. Mittal, would you like to say a few words?
Hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Please go
Yes,
ahead.
ma'am.
Yeah. So I'm Namita Mittal from NIT Jaipur. I have done my PhD in LLP and IR. My students are also working in that, and mostly they are female. So I would means I'm happy to have female candidates in IR, and that's what the mandate is. The female should come up in terms of NLP. They are less than the other area like networks, and that's what. So mainly the females are working in cyber security, cyber aggression, and the things related with the women. And that's what the purpose is. We can share the challenges and issues faced by us being the women. And as the Dr. Varsha is taking the lecture, it would be going to beneficial for all of us. We are very keen to listen her and waiting for her to join soon. So all the best for everyone, those who are participating, those are part of the organizing committee, those on the part of panel. So I wish it's a great success event. Thank you very much. Over to you, Manjira. Manjira?
Yeah, hi, hi. Has my screen sharing stopped?
No.
It is there, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It is here, but it shows your email account.
Email account.
It's
Okay.
live.
Okay. Sorry, can we cut that part out?
Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, I just separated the window and it was still showing that other thing. Okay.
मुझे एक दे दो, भेजती कैसे? एक बार मुझे बता भी दो.
So, can everyone please mute their microphones when you are not speaking? Actually, otherwise there are lots of background noise. So, Mansi, can you please introduce Dr. Abha Bang? I think she has joined and she can share her screen.
Okay, okay. Yes, she has joined.
Yes.
So let me take this opportunity to introduce Dr. Abha Bang, who is an eminent psychiatrist from Nagpur. She practices as a consultant psychiatrist at Dr. Govind Bang's Brahma Hospital, Nagpur, and she is also one of the directors and consultant psychiatrists at Asan Hospital, an exclusive inpatient facility for patients with mental illness. After completing her MBBS from IGMC Nagpur, she did her diploma in psychiatry from Sion Hospital, Mumbai, and further masters in psychiatry from Lata Mangeshkar Hospital, Nagpur. She is also the current president of Association of Medical Women in Nagpur Youth Wing. She is a speaker in multiple forums and has given talks on a wide range of topics. She has a keen interest in destigmatizing mental illness and promoting mental health at par with physical health. And today, Dr. Abha's talk will be titled Me and My Role. The speaker hopes to help the women audience to differentiate between themselves and their roles. Tips on how to balance the various facets of our life and the common mental health issues unique to working women will be talked about. So now I will request Dr. Abha Bang ma'am to take over and I'll ask her to share her screen.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that kind introduction. My screen sharing has been disabled. Could that be enabled?
Manjira, I think participants are not allowed to share screen, and she has registered and
Just wait
logged
a
in.
second. I am now she can.
Now I can. Yeah.
Manjira, just stop this screen.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, your
We can
screen
see
is
your slides, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Very good morning to all of you. Sorry for being late by a minute or two, I guess there. And like Mansi ma'am has already introduced me, I will be starting my talk on the similar line about saying a little bit about myself and hoping that that gives you a clue of how you can think about yourself too. Now, when we talk about ourselves, like who am I? If you are seeing me for the first time, hearing me for the first time, that's a question that pops up. But it's a question that all of us also keep asking ourselves. So, am I a daughter? Am I a sister? Am I a friend? Am I a wife? Am I a bahu? Am I a mother? Or am I my profession where I give talks and I see patients and consult them? Is that who I am? Or am I all of them together and something different too? So, how do I view myself? That is a question that all of us as women need to address. And I'm sure when anybody asks you that who are you, the thing that we usually say is our name, our gender, maybe where we come from, which country we belong to, or what's our specialty, which institute we belong to. That is the usual introduction that we give of ourselves to anybody. Is this really who you are? These are actually just your external ornaments that you adorn, like the way I've dressed up today. These are just the external ornaments that I may have. but who I am really is the inner me. That is, what do I think about myself, what I am to myself, what others might be thinking about me, what is the persona they drive about me. But unfortunately, this is one question that Google cannot answer. When you type myself in Google, you will not find an answer. So how do I find an answer? Who am I? I'm extremely sorry if this seems a little rushed because I got right into this, but I'm hoping for all of those who joined in maybe a little late. Here we are trying to explore who we are and how to find answer to that question. So I'm sure all of you in your technical fields apply the SWOT analysis to your projects. And something similar has to be applied to yourself, in which the answer to the I can be found in these domains. That is, what is your nature? What are your likes and dislikes? What relaxes you? What stresses you out? What are your weaknesses and what are your strengths? Unfortunately, even though majority of us, having reached a certain stage in life, are unable to answer these questions. I'm a psychiatrist by profession, and it is my job to help people unravel their mental issues and seek solutions out of their problems. But even for me, this is an ongoing process. It's not like I have myself figured out completely. So for a lot of people out there, these are questions that we really don't think about, really don't give that much importance to. But these are the questions that will help us decide who we are and how we can balance our life in the best way possible. Now, SWOT analysis, like I was talking about, is something I'm sure all of you are well versed with. It is where we look at our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities, and our threats. Now, the reason why we need to, I'm sorry, let me know if there's a lot of background noise. Am I audible?
Ma'am, there is no background noise. You
That's
are
fine.
audible
Okay.
clearly.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam. So yeah, so the reason why we do a SWOT analysis for any project is so that we can look at the weaknesses and tackle them. Similarly, look at the threats and tackle them. In the same way, when we look at ourselves, we need to find out how we can convert our weaknesses into strengths, how we can make them work for us, and the threats that the environment or the outside world is giving to us, or the obstacles that we see in the outside world, is there a chance in which we can convert them into opportunities? So this is how SWOT analysis of our own self can help us. And this could be like a mini homework for all of you out there that you could think of doing over the weekend when you get the time. Now, this SWOT analysis helps solve the problem or helps address the question, who am I? What do I think of myself? What I want? What about what others think of us? For this, two psychologists way back in the 50s came up with something called Johari window. In this was given by Joseph and Harry, and in this they have talked of 4 domains. The first one is something, and this Johari window is something that you need to work on with a close friend or a family member whose opinions you value and trust. Here, in the first column, we will jot down all the things that you know about yourself and that the other person know about yourself. Like, these are the open areas of your life. I'm a psychiatrist, I'm a doctor, I talk a lot, I'm a mother of 2 kids, I live so and so. These are probably things that people know about me. So this is in my open arena. Now, there could be things which are a blind spot to me, which I might not be aware of, and which others who are close to me might point out to me. These might be things that could be my weaknesses, that could be my strengths also. I am probably unaware of these. So that is a list that you put there. Then there are things that are only known to me, that are very close to me. Those are the secrets that I guard that others might not know. So this is the place where you put in all your secrets. And then there is still a 4th area, which is the hidden area of your personality that is yet to be discovered. Probably even you are not aware of, or neither are others aware of. Now, again, the purpose of doing this exercise is to get the best self-awareness, to know who you are really and what others think of you. It's important that you enlarge your open area by taking in things from your blind spot, from your secrets, and by self-exploration and finding your hidden talents. Because the bigger the open area, the more easier it is for you to recognize what is important for you, what is not important for you, and to draw boundaries about things that you're comfortable doing and things that you would not want to do. Now, how to do that? From the blind spot, you can come to the open area by using feedback of your friends, by disclosure about certain secrets, because sometimes secrets can be disturbing for you. They can make you a little reluctant to interact, and they can also hold you back. So sometimes opening up can be a revelation. It can be forgiving for yourself also, because you might be punishing yourself for something which others really don't think is that big an issue. And like I said, exploration is the way in which you can discover your hidden talents and bring them into your open space. Having discovered who you are is not enough. I believe the esteemed audience today are all working women, and they understand that a woman's job is never done. Whether you're a homemaker, you're a full-time working person, you're an unmarried female, you're a married female, you're a mother, your job is never done. There is always something that is needing your attention. So like this cartoon said, they weren't kidding when they said a woman's work is never done. Even angels couldn't handle it. So how do we try and give justice to all the different roles that we play in our life? How do we try and achieve that inevitable work-life balance that everybody talks about and that seems so elusive to all of us? Now, this work-life balance is said to be something that is like a mythical creature in which you are at peace and at calm at both hemispheres of your life, whether it's work or whether it's your personal life, and you seem to be achieving that at an optimal level. This is like being a juggler who is having so many balls up in the air and who's making sure none of them drops. Do you really think that is possible at all times? Like I said, it's a myth. It's an elusive myth that we are all running after. And the secret of the juggler is knowing which of the balls that he's holding are of rubber and which ones are made of glass. That is, making sure that what your priorities are like, which are the balls that you really can't drop, and which are the balls which are okay if they drop and they'll still be intact. When we talk about work-life balance, it does not necessarily mean that you equally divide your time between your work and your personal life. That is not how it works. What essentially works is bringing them in harmony, because whatever happens in your work life is going to affect your personal life and vice versa. So if you're disturbed in your personal life, it is going to reflect in your work. If your work is being very chaotic or it is very pressurizing, stressful, that is going to reflect in your work life, in your personal life. How to kind of try to have satisfaction in both these spheres is an art that is an ongoing dynamic process that all of us learn by trial and error, I would say. What we do need to remember is that instead of dividing our day in 24 hours and wanting to make sure that we use all those 24 hours together completely in a perfect balance, how about we find a middle way? We say that the balance is going to be somewhere in the middle. It's not like I will do certain things only after retirement. And it's not like every day I have to make sure that I give 2 hours of quality time to my children every single day. That may not be possible. What you can do is like a middle way. Maybe I will have a more balanced week. Weekend I'll do this, and work day I'll do this. That is more of an approach that can probably work. Now, in this regard, since I'm talking to people who work with languages and who work about finding meaning out of what is being said, I have tried to put in a little quotes, some quotes that might help us in this work-life balance. First of all, before we move on to that, how many of you think that women can multitask better than men? Since it's not a live audience, if somebody can answer on behalf of anybody else.
Ma'am, it depends really on the personality. Like, I am very bad at multitasking. I just can't concentrate on two things at a time. So I
Okay.
think it's not about man or woman. It's about some men can do multitasking very well and some women cannot do. So I think it's a wrong or a myth or general statement made by generalizing.
Okay. Anybody would want to disagree or agree with Mansi ma'am? I don't know if the participants had the option of unmuting themselves. You could write in the
Yes,
chat
ma'am,
box.
they
Or
have an option.
Okay. I think the audience might also be multitasking while listening to this. They probably are also doing other things, so they're not able to respond. But like you rightly said, ma'am, it is a completely wrong general statement. And it's not just about genders. Multitasking actually is not possible for anyone in terms of it being efficient. The new meaning of multitasking is screwing up several things at once. So what it essentially means is our brain, research has found that this myth that had been going around that because women can do so many things, they're better at multitasking, or some men maybe, is actually wrong because our brain needs to focus from one thing to other. If we leave things halfway, then they're half done and they're not as we would want them to be. What actually works for all of us is serial tasking rather than multitasking. यानी मैं एक साथ 4 काम करूं, आई एम लिसनिंग टू दिस टॉक टुडे, मैं साथ में कुकर भी चला लेती हूँ, साथ में बच्चों को भी कुछ दे देती हूँ, तो मेरा आधा ही ध्यान ये टॉक में है और आधा ध्यान बाकी चीजों में है. बट इफ आई डिसाइड कि भाई मैं क्योंकि मुझे टॉक में बैठ के सुनना है या करना है, मैं कुकर पहले करके रख देती हूँ एंड मे बी कोई काम मैं उसके बाद करूंगी. So if I can serially task them, I will be able to do full justice to whatever task I'm doing at hand. And that is one of the first things when it comes to work-life balance. What we unfortunately try to do is we cramp up too many things in a short period of time, thinking कि हम ये सब एक साथ parallelly कर लेंगे, especially with the current work from home COVID times where the boundaries are anyways being blurred a little. So यहाँ पे we tend to do our work and housework and our work intermingledly, and which might not be good for either of them. Now, like I was saying, there are a few quotes that I would like to share with you. The first one is by Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, which says that things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things that matter least. That is plagiarization, like I was talking about. Now, हम सबके दिमाग में आइडिया होती है कि we want to be able to do this. We have a bucket list, we have a daily chores list, we have a list that we need to do in our to-do list for our work. But what usually happens is rather than doing things that are more urgent and more important, we just end up doing things that just come in front of us or that seem more urgent. And that, unfortunately, is where one of our balance elements goes out. Now, how can we help this prioritization? It really helps if you can take out 5 minutes every morning, or maybe if you're a person who likes to sleep at night in a more organized way, 5 minutes before you go to sleep, what you need to do is just make a list. And your list should have these columns. First list should be important and urgent. Next should be important but not urgent. Next could be urgent but not really important. And then there is the last thing, which is not urgent and not important. You can have these 4 headings, and depending on the things that come to your mind, कि जो आपको खत्म करना है work wise या घर की चीजों wise, where can you put it in all of these? So things that come in this sector, which are not really urgent or not really important also, let's say I want to see that movie that's in my bucket list, or I wish I would want to do this, or I will just go through this Netflix episode. That's neither urgent nor important at the time. So they actually come in the time wasters category. Whereas things that are important and urgent both, For example, I have been assigned this talk and I have to make sure that my PPT is all ready. Both of that is important and it is urgent because I have a deadline. So that will come in my priority and I will make sure that I make time in my schedule for this priority versus others. So once you have a clear demarcation कि आपकी priorities क्या है, आप time उस हिसाब से allocate कर सकते हैं. Are there things that you can probably do over the weekend rather than the week? And are there things that need your focus right now, right here? So this talks about prioritization was one of the first goals. Next one is goal setting in itself. As said by Bo Jackson, set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. Now this can have two kinds of meanings. It could mean that you need to be very ambitious, over ambitious when it comes to work, or you need to aim for some ideal when it even comes to your house personal life, that you need to be a perfect homemaker, you need to be a perfect host, you need to be a perfect mother. But what here, when I'm saying about goal setting, what it means is actually this image that we have in our mind of we can do it, and that this is the new feminism mantra and we should be able to do all, should essentially also take in mind that both the roles that we're playing, whether it's a breadwinner role or whether it is a caregiving role, that is the role that we play at home versus the role we play at work, are equally important. And goal setting only does not apply to achieving a certain promotion at work. It also applies to setting your goal and being satisfied and content at where you are. And that contentment and satisfaction may come out of balance rather than just aiming at one thing, because it is going to cost some sacrifices in your personal life, which we may not be willing to do at this point. So when you set your goals, have realistic goals, goals in which both your caregiving and breadwinning roles are given equal importance, because otherwise you'll always keep being pulled, and it will have an impact on your relationship at work or on your personal friend. So make sure that your goals are set accordingly. Like we've just spoken about, self-awareness is something that is a very important activity or important skill you need to develop, because when you discover who you are, you will be free, as said by Ralph Ellison. A lot of times we don't really know what to be like, who we are, and that is why that others have planned for us. Maybe because all friends are doing this, we are doing this. Maybe because our family, our husband wants to do this, that is why we are doing this. But if we clearly know, I'm not really interested in this, you do what you would like to do, and I would use that time to do something that I want to do. And then you are automatically free. So having that self-awareness is very important, which we just spoke about in the first part. And that is why knowing who you are, knowing the me, helps keep all your roles in a better place. Because no two people will function in the same way, right? बहुत बार होता है कि we end up comparing. Our colleague, she is also a working woman, she also has kids at her home, but she seems to have it more better together than we do, or some relative that we see seems to be having better together. And a lot of times this in our mind, ये बात कि वो हमसे ज़्यादा अच्छे से सब चीज़ चला रहे is because of the social media these days. Social media gives us this image and this picture that हर एक के पास everything is rosy donkey except us. Whereas what we tend to forget is no two people function in the same way. And social media of small moments in people's life. We don't know the backstories that are going on. We don't know what juggling they're going through. And maybe one thing that is good for them might not be that good for you. So you need to love yourself because you are you, and only then you will be satisfied with whatever you're doing. Now, a very important thing for people who are juggling so many balls in the air is being motivated all the time, having that self-motivation. And for that, it is very important that we don't keep stuck in the past. So we always have to choose the future over the past and think that what do we do now? How can we move towards that future and letting go of that past? As all of us grow older and mature, unconsciously also we come to realize कि हमें क्या पसंद है क्या नहीं. ये जो self awareness की exercise मैं आपको बता रही हूँ, ये बहुत conscious exercise है, but unconscious level पर भी if you look back, 10 years back आपको इतनी clarity नहीं थी कि आपको life में क्या पसंद है क्या नहीं पसंद है, क्या आपके लिए काम करता है क्या नहीं करता है. आज आप ज्यादा clear position में हैं, right? So similarly, आज से 5 साल बाद आपको जो करना है उसके बारे में अगर आप फोकस कर सकते हैं rather than जो mistakes शायद आपने की या जो आपके हाथ से opportunities miss हो गई in the past, so that will keep you more motivated. But if you keep living in the past, it might demotivate you. It might have a lot of negative impact on your mental resilience, and that is why it is important to focus on the future. I really like this cup here because I think this is universally applied to all of us. Indian mom, only because full-time multitasking ninja is not an actual job title. And I believe all the audience today is a full-time multitasking ninja because she can handle so many things together. Decision making is another very important skill that is helpful when it comes to balancing. In our daily life, हम हर छोटी बड़ी चीज का अनकॉन्शियसली भी डिसीजन लेते रहते हैं. लाइक सुबह उठने के बाद आज मैं क्या कपड़े पहनने वाली हूँ, आज मेरे को कहाँ पहले जाना है कहाँ नहीं जाना है. इसमें से कुछ ऐसे डिसीजंस होते हैं जो हम ऑटोमेटिकली ले लेते हैं. वी डोंट रियली थिंक दैट वी आर यूजिंग एनी डिसीजन मेकिंग और प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स हियर, बट वी आर in our mind we are, but these are decisions that we make every day. तो ये हमारे लिए second nature हो गया है गाड़ी चलाने जैसा. But when it comes to little bigger problems, we need to take a conscious effort to not delay them, because waiting hurts, forgetting also hurts. But not knowing which decision to take can seem to be the most painful, because then we are constantly in that लटकी हुई position कि अच्छा मैंने ज़्यादा time काम को देना चाहिए, ज़्यादा time घर को देना चाहिए. मैंने ये किया तो गलत होगा क्या, ये किया तो सही होगा क्या. Take 5 minutes from your daily schedule to make decisions of how you're going to spend time where, and stick to it without going back and re-reflecting on it कि मैंने गलत तो नहीं किया, मैं आज 1 घंटा ऑफ जल्दी ले ली because I wanted to spend some time with a friend, मैं कॉफी पीने जाना चाह रही थी तो. So was that a wrong decision? Was it a right decision? Once it's made, once you have already juggled that in your mind, you need to stop thinking about it and you need to act on it. That is why decision making is a skill that you need to really keep practicing so that it helps you in a better work-life balance. And this is something that Bhagavad Gita also tells us. Our oldest scripture which says ki karm kar aur phal ki chinta mat kar. So when you've made that decision, act on it and stop thinking of the consequences. What's done is done. Now focus. This is very important because a lot of us, when we talk of focus, think कि बस हमें जो सामने चीज है उसके ऊपर हम focus कर लें तो हमारा हो जाएगा. But what focus essentially means is that how we we need to look in the direction that we want to go in rather than thinking कि मैं time कैसे ये करूँ. So it's a lack of direction and not lack of time which is the problem, because all of us have 24 hours in a day, like Zig Ziglar says. Now, how do I use these 24 hours in a best possible way that suits me? There is no one size fits all, because each of us have a different direction that we're aiming for. First of all, for this, it is important to know that when things are going wrong, or when you want to know what direction to take, what do you do? I'm sure all of you in your companies have these annual reviews, which usually come at the end of the year, where you review your management reviews, the work that you've done, the contributions that you've made, so that they can decide for the promotions or whatever it is. So how about to decide what direction we want to take in the near future, we do a review now of the next year. Do an imagined review this is another activity that I would want you to do in your spare time. Do an imagined review in your mind. 2021 के एंड में इमेजिन करिए कि यू आर डूइंग अ वर्क रिव्यू आपके पीयर्स के साथ, आपके सीनियर्स के साथ, एंड ऐसी कौन सी 2-3 चीजें आपको लगती है कि आपने इस साल में की होगी 2021 में, जिसके कारण यू हैड एन अमेजिंग ईयर. You're getting a lot of praise, your work is being praised, you are being hailed after in your institute, in your job place. So ऐसी कौन सी 3 से 5 चीजें हैं which you think might have worked in your favor. This is a futuristic exercise, like I'm saying. हो सकता है आपने कुछ इस साल भी किया हो that you would want to continue. हो सकता है it is something new that you think you might be wanting to try in 2021. So have a list of those 3 things. Similarly, do a review of your personal life at the end of 2021. Supposing at the end of 2021, when you look back, New Year resolution ke pehle, 21 turning to 22, उस time you're doing a New Year resolution, and you look back and you think this has been an amazing year, personally also. And why has this been an amazing year? Again, 3 to 4 things that you think that happened in this year or that you were able to achieve in this year, which made it an amazing year, right? Once you have these 2 lists in your hand, these becomes your direction or your goal for the next year. These are the things that you need to focus on to actually have that amazing year at work and at your personal life. But again, look at that list and see whether these are things that you can control or whether they are things that you cannot control. Because all of us are affected in our life by a lot of situations wherein कुछ चीजें हमारे कंट्रोल में होगी और कुछ नहीं होगी. The biggest example अभी is the COVID pandemic that is going around. When it first hit us and when there was a lot of where there was severe lockdown, everything going stop, things that were not in our control was the virus was not in our control, the pandemic happening was not in our control, how other people behave was not in our control. It still isn't. There are people out there road pe jo abhi bhi bina mask ke ghumte hain. That is not in our control, unfortunately, however anxiety provoking it is. But what can I control in that situation? I can control the fact ki main mask pehnu, मैं distance maintain करूं, मैं repeated, I don't unnecessarily go out. These are things that I can control. Similarly, आपकी list में जो चीजें आपको ऐसी लगती हैं, which you think you will be able to control, please focus on those rather than focusing on things which you cannot control. In situations where you don't really have control, those are situations in which you really need to change your thinking process, if nothing else. And for that, what is required is good planning. Like Abraham Lincoln said, give me 6 hours to chop the tree and I will spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. Isn't that what happens with all of us? We all tend to procrastinate a lot. हमारे दिमाग में बहुत प्लानिंग होती है, ये करना है, वो करना है, बहुत सारी चीजें हमें करनी है. But unfortunately, we are not able to do it because हमारे दिस में होता है, we'll just do it later. हाँ कर लेंगे, पहले प्लानिंग कर लेते हैं, पर एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं हो पाता. So we need to focus on stopping procrastination and actually doing things. That is what will help. And the most important thing I think in both spheres of our life is the communication skill that we all need. May I please request some? Yeah, thank you. Communication skill, because communication is the key to getting things done in the right way in both your personal life and your professional life. Much unhappiness has come into the world because of bewilderment and things left unsaid. Because we tend to forget to communicate with people, we tend to tell things in the right way, or we imagine हमारे दिमाग में कि ये बात तो हो चुकी है, ये तो सामने वाले ने समझ लेना चाहिए. उसके कारण भी हमारा वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस काफी डिस्टर्ब हो. Now, communication skills one of the important skills for having a good work-life balance is the ability to be able to say no, being assertive and being able to say no when it is required. As females, हमारा एक कंडीशनिंग होता है बचपन से कि जो भी हमें बोला जाए हम हाँ बोल के कर देते हैं, हाँ बिल्कुल, हाँ हाँ क्यों नहीं, बिल्कुल, नो प्रॉब्लम. बट व्हाट ends up happening is कि हमने इतनी चीजों को हाँ बोल दिया है कि हमारे पास टाइम ही नहीं बच गया है to do anything in a proper way. And so it is very important to be able to communicate in a good way when it's required, to say no and when it's not. इसी कैटेगरी में आता है delegating and outsourcing. You need to start paying other people. You need to start paying other people to do stuff for you even before you feel you're ready. Ranjana ma'am, could you please mute yourself? Thank you. As said by Kevin Cruz. As females, we have this huge need to A, control things, and B, make sure कि हर चीज हमारे हिसाब से हो. Now that is something that might not be always possible. हम हर चीज हर जगह हमेशा नहीं कर सकते हैं. There will be certain things that we will have to give out, and we will have to be okay with it not happening in the way हमें चाहिए. हो सकता है कि किसी हफ्ते में आपको काम ज्यादा होने के कारण आपके हस्बैंड आपको हेल्प आउट करना चाहे घर पे, but the way he helps out is not probably the way you would do things. फॉर सिंपल एग्जाम्पल हो सकता है वो स्त्री के कपड़े बराबर उस जगह नहीं रखे जहाँ रखने चाहिए, या उनका खाना बनाने का स्टाइल कुछ अलग हो, या फिर उनको बच्चों को रेयर करने का उनका स्टाइल अलग हो. बट दैट्स ओके. यू हैव टू प्रायोरिटाइज एंड थिंक. एक हाथ बार थोड़ा घर मेसी रहेगा बट आपका काम बराबर हो गया है, इट्स ओके. योर किड्स एंड हस्बैंड आर हैप्पी, इट्स ओके. So you have to be able to delegate and relinquish control. कि हर बार हर चीज हमारे हिसाब से होगी ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. And you have to be okay with it. The sooner you accept it, the easier it becomes for you to relax and let the anxieties go, right? And since we are all social beings, whether it comes to work, whether it comes to our personal lives, working effectively with others is very important. Like Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little and together we can do so much. Seeking support from your female colleagues, from your male colleagues at work, from your help at home, whether it's your mother-in-law, whether it's your husband, whether it's your kids. It's okay to ask for help and it's okay to work together effectively, setting aside your egos and comparisons. Because together we can achieve more. Teamwork is not only relegated to projects. Teamwork always helps when it comes to other things. A simple example, when I was making this presentation, I wanted inputs from other people because मैं अकेले सोचूंगी तो it will have a narrow perspective. So I asked my other psychiatry colleagues, I asked my husband for his input on him because he's from the technical field. So because it is like a teamwork for me to make sure that it comes out good and it comes out in some valuable way. So similarly, whatever you're doing, when it seems a little tough, please take help and make it a team effort rather than a single person effort. Now, having said all of this, ho sakta hai aap mein se a lot of people probably have more experience than I do of being working, of being a mother, of juggling so many different roles, and you probably are able to find this work-life balance better than I am. But all of us definitely go through something which is stressful at times. If nothing else, for example, this pandemic COVID has been a stress for all of us. But is stress always bad? Does stress always have to be bad? Not necessarily. There is a concept called eustress or good stress, in which kuch level of stress, some optimal stress is important for us to give our best efficient work because it motivates us. So it's a medium level of stress that we need to require. But जब वो stress overbearing हो जाए, then it can become a bad stress. जैसे if I have the stress of, if I have a little bit of nervousness and anxiety, कि मैं आज अच्छे से present कर पाऊँ, am I able to get the message across that I hope to? Am I am I able to connect with the audience, then I will have that stress and I will work a little bit to make sure that my presentation or my preparedness is as such. But अगर मैं बिल्कुल stress नहीं लूँ और मैं सोचूं मैं तो ठीक है ना, मैं तो साइकेट्रिस्ट हूँ, मैं तो बोल दूंगी, जो आएगा वो वैसे ही बता दूंगी, आई एम श्योर लोग तो समझ ही जाएंगे, then I will not take that effort to give the best that I can. But at the same time, अगर मैं इतनी nervous हो जाऊँ कि oh my God, these are all PhD scholars, these are all postgraduate women who are so accomplished in their life, मैं क्या उनको बता सकती हूँ? मेरे से तो हो ही नहीं सकता है. I have been given such short notice. How can I prepare a PPT? How can I talk? हो जाएगा. So in that case, that becomes a bad stress, and my performance, my ability to convey all goes down, and my efficiency goes down. So having an optimal level of stress is all right. But what to do when the stress becomes overbearing? How can we take care, or how can we identify, first of all, are we in a stressful situation? Now, stress can come in terms of cognition, in our thoughts, or in our bodily feelings. Things like inability to focus, getting easily angry, being restless, having sleep difficulties, feeling sad or guilty, or being worried, or crying too often as compared to others, feeling exhausted, having changes in our appetite, or physical feelings like having headache, backaches, unexplained pains in our body, not feeling hungry, having butterflies in your stomach all of the time. These are a few of the most common symptoms of being stressed out. And this stress could be for anything. It could be a work-related stress. It could be a personal life-related stress. And this stress could lead to what we call burnout, and in some people, depression and anxiety also. So it is very important that you tackle this stress at an early level so that it does not lead to burnout or depression or to anxiety. Now, how, in short, can I talk about stress management? Because stress management in itself is a 2-3 hour long workshop, but I would like to give you a few pointers here. First of all, accept that things will go wrong. All of us all the time need to have this awareness that हमेशा हर चीज हमारे हिसाब से नहीं चल सकती. You have to anticipate कि कभी ना कभी कुछ ना कुछ गड़बड़े होंगी, and it's okay. Before joining in, my neck was not getting connected. I had a word with Mansi ma'am about it also, and I mean these are things that you anticipate कि ये हो सकता है, कि गड़बड़ हो सकती है. हो सकता था कुछ घर पे गड़बड़ हो जाती और मैं इसके कारण भी 5-10 मिनट लेट हो सकती थी. So things would go wrong. If I'm already prepared for that, मुझे कम स्ट्रेस होगा. जितना हम ख्याल हमारे डिवाइसेस का रखते हैं, our mobiles, our laptops, हम उतना ख्याल खुद का क्यों नहीं रखते? Like when our mobile is at 20% battery, we make sure कि हम उसको फिर से recharge करें so that it works to your optimal best. So the same applies to us. We all as human beings have a certain reserve of stress handling or of coping. और वो reserve जब कम होने लग जाए, जब हमको लगे कि हम बहुत exhausted हो रहे हैं, there are too many things that we're doing, you need to take a step back, recharge yourself, pamper yourself. It could be a simple head massage that you get. It could be a simple cup of chai or a cup of coffee with a friend that could be recharging. It could be taking half an hour off and just taking a power nap that could be recharging. So anything can be recharging, but you just need to take a step back and recharge yourself, and try and do that at least once a day if possible. If not, once a week, at least have that recharging schedule. So it will be helpful. Like I said, once a day, if you can challenge yourself for 15 minutes of time each day. 24 hours, 15 minutes, I'm sure all of us can get. काम पे भी कभी हमें मिल सकते हैं 15 मिनट्स, घर पे मिल सकते हैं, सब बच्चे सोने के बाद मिल सकते हैं, सुबह जल्दी उठ के मिल सकते हैं. Anywhere we can find those 15 minutes. या commute में मिल सकते हैं 15 minutes. That is just for you, where you're doing things just for your own pleasure and satisfaction. It could be watching a small 15-minute movie clip. It could be reading for 15 minutes. It could be going for a jog for 15 minutes without carrying any of your phones. It could be doing yoga for 15 minutes. It could be just sitting and meditating for 15 minutes. It could be anything you like. It could be just hogging ice cream for 15 minutes, aram se, if that's what your recharging is all about. Something for 15 minutes, do it. Let go of the stress, do some deep breathing exercises, and tell yourself that all is well. That also sometimes works. Extremely important to plan holidays, surprises, and breaks. Unfortunately, COVID this year has completely ruined our plans of holidays, but we can still take mini holidays, if nothing else, on the terrace. हमारे घर पे टेरेस पर भी हम पिकनिक कर सकते हैं safely, just spread out and have a non-normal day. We can order in food, have it, plan surprises. You can celebrate half birthdays. हम सिर्फ 6 महीने के बच्चों के सेलिब्रेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि अभी everybody has had a hard tough time. How about you celebrate your kids half birthday? They're turning 10 and a half, celebrate that. Just make that a surprise occasion, a small dinner, and it'll just, the excitement of planning will be fun for you, and it'll be seeing the pleasure on their face will give you that satisfaction. And in our daily work and chore also, make sure you take breaks. I'm sure since all of you are working on your laptops and computers, you know how important it is for you to get up from your chair and take a break, even if it's for 2 minutes break after every 20 to 30 minutes, for your body, for your neck, for your eyes, for your head, everything. It's very important. So make sure you incorporate that. If you think you're done with all your hobbies, there's nothing more to do, explore your hidden talents, pick up a new hobby. That helps with stress management. And of course, the golden 5 that we call of stress management, and which I'm sure all of you have heard often enough, making sure you have a good restful 7 to 8 hours of sleep, because that is the time where your brain does all their maintenance work. All the sleeping, cleaning, everything happens during sleep. So make sure you get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Good diet. All of us, as we age, need to look more at what we're eating, what we're putting inside our body, because being physically fit is going to help us be mentally fit. And of course, that includes exercise also. Aim for, if you can, aim for 150 minutes of exercise in the entire week. That means 30 minutes in on 5 days, or it can mean 50 minutes in 3 days, whatever works for you. Stay away from alcohol and substances, and definitely reduce your screen time outside of your work that you can. All of these are part of stress management. And so is problem solving, because if you do not head on tackle the problem that is stressing you out, it is not going to go away. If it is something that you can change, then see if this is a good time to work on it, and work on it by a problems focused coping, which, like I said, decision making, problem solving is something that we keep doing on a daily basis. And if it is something that you cannot change, this is something that is not in your control, then try and see if you can change how you think about it. Again, I will give an example of COVID. If you're very anxious COVID में कि अरे मेरी सारी फैमिली को कोविड हो जाएगा, मैंने काम पे जाना चालू कर दिया है, how will I work? कैसे होगा? How can I go back home? Am I taking COVID back to my home? Can you do anything about the situation? You probably cannot, because except losing your job, there is no other option. You have to go into work. So what you can do is, you can change the thought process and say, okay, since I have to go to work, I will make sure that I maintain the utmost precautions so that I don't take COVID outside with me, right? So that is something that you can change and work on. That is something that you can change and work on.
Ma'am, last 2-3 minutes.
Yes, last 2 minutes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And to do that, we work on the cognitive triad. That is, we remember that what we think affects how we feel and act. What we do affects how we think and feel, and what we feel affects how we think and do. That is why sometimes changing our actions can change our feelings and thoughts, and changing our thoughts can also change our feelings and actions. So that is one of the things. And most importantly, do ask for help. If there is one take-home message that you can take from today, that is to form your buffer system. Now, what is a buffer system? Buffer system is recruiting 1 to 2 people in all the 3 zones of life. That is your personal, social, and academic life, who can be your mentors, buffers, who can be your go-to people for problem solving. बिकॉज हो सकता है कि मेरे हस्बैंड मुझे उतना अच्छा हेल्प नहीं कर सके जितनी कोई मेरी साइकेट्रिस्ट कलीग हेल्प कर सकती है फॉर अ प्रॉब्लम दैट इज रिलेटेड टू वर्क. And similarly, my sister might help me out in a personal thing, but a friend is better in a social setting. So make sure you have people like these in all three zones whom you can go and talk to for problems in these zones, so that you can renew yourself out of stress. And of course, these are all things that I've been talking about that you can do at a personal level when it has not converted into a clinical depression or anxiety. In case you feel that that is happening, please do seek out a mental health professional and please take help if it is required. As I end, I think the most important thing for you to juggle any role and for the work-life balance is to remember that what matters most is how you see yourself. Thank you so much for your patient listening. I'm sorry to have overshot if I have. If
No,
there
ma'am.
are any questions, please.
Ma'am, thank you very much for an insightful talk. And we have some questions definitely. So I'll encourage the audience to ask any questions if they have.
Good morning, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, Anita ma'am, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Sorry, ma'am. Actually, I'm Chanchal. Actually, I had some laptop issues, so I had to borrow.
No worries. Yes,
so, okay,
Chanchal.
so I am Chanchal, a research scholar from IIT Patna. So actually, sometimes
Yes,
I have a decision-making issue. Like whenever it comes to decide something, I see the positive, negative aspect of that decision. But I keep on thinking the positives and negatives. Finally, I do something, but that time duration of thinking is very much for me. So how can I cope up with that?
Right. So, Chanchal, very important question. A lot of people face this issue, and that is because we are never satisfied with whatever answer we get. What if हमारे दिमाग में चलता रहता है. एक आया तो दूसरा आता रहता है. So what we ideally say is, especially for people like this, you need to keep deadlines. जब भी आपको कोई decision लेना है, at the start of that, जब आप वो process चालू कर रहे हैं, आप एक time set करिए कि मैं इसके ऊपर 15 मिनट फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्पेंड करने वाली हूँ. अगर सपोज कुछ ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजन है, मैं इसके ऊपर एट द मोस्ट आई स्लीप ओवर इट ओवरनाइट. दैट इज द मैक्सिमम टाइम यू गिव, नॉट मोर देन दैट. छोटे डिसीजंस के लिए नॉट मोर देन 15 मिनट्स. यू कैन एक्चुअली फिजिकली पुट अ टाइमर ऑन योर फोन. आजकल हमारे मोबाइल में सबके पास टाइमर्स हैं ही. पुट अ टाइमर एंड एट द एंड ऑफ 15 मिनट्स जो डिसीजन, तब तक आपकी प्रो कॉन लिस्ट में प्रो ज्यादा होंगे तो उस हिसाब से जाइए, कॉन्स ज्यादा होंगे तो उस हिसाब से जाइए. सेकंड गेसिंग इज कॉमन. इसमें इनिशियली आपको बहुत एंजाइटी भी होगी, ये भी लगेगा कि अरे यार मैंने तो क्योंकि मैंने टाइम सेट कर दिया था तो मैंने ले लिया, सही था कि नहीं. बट विद टाइम यू विल रियलाइज कि आपका ब्रेन ऑटोमेटिकली लुकिंग कि आपके पास लिमिटेड टाइम है, आपको बेटर सॉल्यूशंस देने लगता है. अगर हमको हमारे दिमाग को लगे कि टाइम ही टाइम है तो फिर वो सोचता ही चला जाएगा. So this is something that you need to put in practice again and again. And जैसे जैसे आपको realize होंगे कि आपके decision सही निकले हैं, which 90% of the times होंगे ही because you're experienced enough, आप वो ही field के decisions ले रहे हैं, तो automatic वो confidence आता जाएगा कि मैं कम time में भी decision ले सकती हूँ. और उसके बाद भी अगर thought आया कि अरे मैंने गलत तो नहीं लिया, tell yourself, stop. This is it. I believe in myself and this is the right decision. This comes with practice, ma'am. ये एक दिन में नहीं होगा मेरे बोलने पे.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for this very good talk. Like this was really very good.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you for the suggestions too.
Yeah,
Ma'am, one question from my side. Like
yes, ma'am.
you talked about converting weaknesses into your strengths. So
Right.
I can you give me any one example, because I was not very clear, because what I focus on is if I have a weakness, I try to cover it and use my strengths and try to focus on them. But how can I convert my weakness to strength? That I did not understand quite well.
So for example, ma'am, if supposing I know that my weakness is I'm not a very organized person.
Okay.
Right? Contrary to whatever I'm talking and all, I'm more of a person who's driven by deadlines. So I'm an 11th hour person. And so I have finished last night at 3. because I'm an 11th hour person, so that's what I end up doing. But with time, what I've realized is this doesn't always work out. This is a weakness that I have, because then what happens is I compromise on my sleep, I'm compromising on other things. So what I try and do is I see the positive of it. The positive part of my weakness is because I'm an 11th hour person, I'm also very flexible in terms of I don't get easily rattled. I have that flexibility. बट फॉर थिंग्स जो मेरे पास पहले से है, जैसे आपने मुझे 5 दिन पहले अगर बताया है, सो नोइंग माय वीकनेस, व्हाट आई विल डू इज मैं अपने दिमाग में वो डेडलाइन थोड़ी पहले की सेट करूंगी. अगर आपने मुझे 18th का बताया है, तो मैं मेरे दिमाग में 16th की डेडलाइन सेट करूंगी, ताकि एटलीस्ट मेरे को जो मटेरियल चाहिए वो 16th तक गैदर कर लूं. फाइनलाइज भले ही करती रहूंगी 18th तक, बट सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू इज मेरी वीकनेस को मैं चैलेंज कर रही हूँ. I'm looking at it in a positive way कि कहाँ पे ये weakness as a strength काम कर सकती है, कि being an 11th hour person will be helpful for me to be flexible and less anxious. But at the same time, I'm working on it to gradually be better. So when I'm saying कि कल मैंने 3 AM उसको किया है, maybe 5 years back, till 10:45 I would be working on my PPT if I have an 11 o'clock thing. So that is the progress I've made in my weakness कि मैं 10:45 की जगह अभी रात में 3 बजे, मतलब I am getting at least a 6 hours sleep, 3 to 9. That I wouldn't do. So this is an ongoing process, ma'am. This is a very small example, but there could be other things. If you think you have a weakness of public speaking, you can probably take some effort to improve that. You know, some things you can, and some you just have to accept a part of your personality. I'm sorry, I think there's somebody else also wants to say something.
Dr. Abha, I want to add something. Yes, that to overcome procrastination,
yes, ma'am,
this is the way to overcome the procrastination.
Yes.
The same thing we have to do to fight with that we have to make our weakness, that is procrastination, to make it strength. Is it so? Suppose I am delaying my research papers writing.
Right.
So how do I overcome this?
So you overcome this, for example, if you're delaying it, you again, what we can sometimes do is, instead of actually that or shifting it, then I mean converting your weakness to a strength is meaning to work on it also to shift it out. Now, procrastination may be useful sometimes for people who are very impulsive. For them, we advise people who just, jump on everything. There are people we know who would say कि हाँ चलो ये risk ले लेते हैं, हाँ चलो ये कर ही डालते हैं. For them, we actually advise procrastination कि आप थोड़ा सा इसके ऊपर 10 मिनट सोच के फिर करो. तो यही आपको करना है. But take 10 minutes out of it. Now, to procrastinators, we say the opposite. Key to overcome procrastination, what you do is you set a timeline. Like I was telling Dr. Chanchal that you need to set a deadline when you're procrastinating. That अगर मेरा research paper मैंने इस time तक नहीं खत्म किया या इस time तक मैंने उस पे काम करना चालू नहीं किया, so then this is a negative or this is like a punishment is not the right word, but this is something that I will get out of my life. अगर मैंने research paper चालू नहीं किया, तो then I will not take my movie time. अगर मैंने research paper इस time तक चालू नहीं किया, then फिर I will not go out to that function with my friends, whatever pleasure time that you've decided to do. So जब there is for procrastination, when there is a consequence, a negative consequence, only then that procrastination ends. जब तक उसको कोई negative consequence नहीं है, कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मुझे डेडलाइन नहीं है, अगर आई हैव ये कि भाई मैंने ठीक है बोल दिया, मेरा नाम छप गया है, पर मैं नहीं करूंगी, ऐसा मेरे पास ऑप्शन नहीं है, तब तक इट विल नॉट गेट मी स्टार्टेड. When it comes to a research paper, there is per se no negative punishment there. There is no timeline, right? So you have to create your own deadlines when it comes to procrastination. For those deadlines to work, only then you can, I hope that solves your query. Again, this is something that is very individualized for individual people.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. That's very nice answer. I'll follow. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for your insightful talk, and we really enjoyed it, and it was very helpful for us. And we
My
hope
pleasure,
to
ma'am.
collaborate with you in future also. So thank you very much. And I hand over the forum to Manjira now, and she can declare the next session.
Thank you. My pleasure, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi, thank you, Mansi. Thank you, Dr. Abha. It was really a nice presentations. And just to add some comments, I liked how you handle the topics of like multitasking and delegating the responsibilities. So, as women, we are often, subjected to the myth of multitasking everywhere in our, like, posters, cinemas, advertisement banners. We see women should be multitaskers, and so the thing is that as a result of that we experience a lot of guilt when we cannot do everything to perfection. And
Yeah,
that's where, like, especially in our previous generation, lots of women had to, like, they had to compromise, and now these days also, but maybe the choice is a little bit less or little bit easier. So had to compromise between their career aspirations and fulfilling the other societal roles, not always as per their own interest or own inclination. So that's where it was very helpful to really, like, debunk the myth of multitasking, and really to say that it's okay to delegate, and not everything will be according to how we are taught it should be. But still, we also need to have a me time. Every woman need to have a me time to planning. So
definitely, ma'am. Definitely, ma'am.
thank you. It was
My pleasure.
uh, so now I would like to request Mansi and Manju. So if you can start with your presentations on the different scholarship opportunities available to the women scholars. And from the organizing committee and the fire organizing team as well, thank you once again, Dr. Abha. So, and I will request our participants, so you will get Dr. Ava's details at our web page. If any of you wants to contact her for any kind of help, or have any inquiries, so please feel free to contact her and get in touch with her.
Yeah, what I'll do, ma'am, is I'll just jot down my number in the chat window so it's easier for anybody to WhatsApp me if they want to. And all the best for the conference throughout the day. I will have to take your leave. Thank you for having me. It was an honor to be here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks again, ma'am. Thank you. Bye bye.
So, Mansi and Manju, you can start presenting. You both have been provided the co-host permission.
Yeah, so this is Mansi, and today we will be telling you about some of the scholarship opportunities that are available for women. So basically, we looked for some scholarships by ACM women, and these ACM women scholarships are for attending computer science conferences which are research oriented. So, whom do they support in general is they support undergraduate and graduate students in computer science and also in allied areas. So, for example, if someone is from some other stream and working in some computer related or computer science related domain, then they are also encouraged to apply in this forum. And the most important thing is there is no compulsion on the student to have a student to present the paper or something at the conference which he or she sorry which she wants to attend. So the conference are the scholarships are generally for intracontinental and for intercontinental travel, and depends on where you are traveling. They will provide scholarships up to $600 for within the continent, and up to $1,200 for outside the continent. Okay, and what their mechanism is? Yes.
Yeah, hi, Mansi. So sorry for interrupting. Would you like to present your screen or?
No, no, no. I have not made a presentation.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So maybe it will be helpful if you just can, float the web links or show the web pages or like even in the.
Yeah, so that links we are going to post in the Google group Women in IR.
Okay, okay, sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, so then the scholarships are basically evaluated every year in 6 groups, and the groups are according to the months. And if you have a conference in, say, April, then the slot in which April falls, you have to check for that slot and apply according to the deadline. Okay. And what is also important is if you are going to attend one of the SIGs like special interest group conferences or any of the special interest group events, then they provide complimentary registration also depending on which SIG you are going, and there is a fixed number which differs from every SIG to SIG, and that according to that number you will have some availability of registrations. Okay. And non ACM related conferences are also supported by ACM, which is a very big thing. I feel that they do not restrict their scholarships for only ACM conferences. And an important thing to note here while applying is that this is a one time award. So if you get one scholarship for some travel and attending some conference one time, then that is it, you are no longer eligible to apply for it again. Okay. And one more thing I want to tell here is that we cannot provide scholarships, like they do not provide scholarships to attend Grace Hopper Celebration for Women and Richard Tapia Celebration of Diversity. For these two exceptions, we know that Grace Hopper Celebration for Women happens every year, and for that there are some specific dedicated scholarships for which there is a link which I will share on the Google group. And also for Richard Tapia Celebration Diversity, there are some different dedicated scholarships. So these two are excluded by ACM. And one more facility they have provided in COVID is that if the conference which you are going to attend is cancelled or not being held because of COVID, or it is postponed, or maybe it is online so you don't need to travel, something like that happens, then in that case you can use that scholarship for a equally good another later conference, and the scholarship is never lost. So what happens is you can inform the ACMW scholarship committee in either case whether the conference happens or doesn't happen, and you can then apply for a further later point of time, and they will consider your request, and they will think if the conference is equally suitable, and if yes, they will allow you. So in either case you will not lose the scholarships once you get it. Okay. So this was about ACM scholarships, and now Manju madam will tell about some of the government scholarships that she wants to tell about.
Yeah, thank you, Mansi ma'am. I'm just sharing my screen. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm just sharing my screen. Wait for a minute, I just. Just a minute, it is taking time in sharing.
Ma'am, it's displaying a message that you have started screen sharing, but the screen is not yet visible. So I think it will take a while.
Just wait, ma'am. It's taking time. I don't know why it is taking time. Just a minute. I'm just sharing. Is something visible on my screen?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet. All right.
Manju,
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
what you can do, you can read it from there and later you will share this slide.
Actually, it is not opening. The PPT is not opening. Just give me one more minute, ma'am. I'm trying my
Sure.
best.
Okay, okay. Sure.
Is it now visible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah. All
ma'am.
right.
Yes, yes.
So sorry for the delay. So actually, being a woman, we generally face lots of things. Sometimes during our PhD, we face financial constraints. Sometimes we face the relocation issues. Sometimes, being women, we can face the maternity issues or childcare issues or any other kind of issues we can face. So for addressing these issues, our government of India has offered some exclusive government fellowships for women scientists or women researchers. So I will be sharing information about some of them, some of these fellowships here. So first of all, the Government of India Regulated Agency, UGC, that is University Grant Commission, has introduced quite a lot of measures to promote maximum enrollments of women in PhD and MPhil courses. So these measures are basically under the Act which was issued in 2016, regulations for relaxing the maximum time for completion of PhD or MPhil by women candidates. The course duration has been relaxed by 2 years for PhD and 1 year for MPhil course. And it also allows transfer of research data in case of relocation of an MPhil PhD women researchers. Apart from that, this agency also allowed, the UGC allows for the maternity leave or as childcare leave 240 days during your PhD, once in your PhD duration. So these rules are also applicable to physically handicapped candidates, 40% disabled, who are 40% disabled minimum. So in case of relocation of any woman candidate, scholar, MPhil PhD, the woman scholar due to marriage or other personal needs, research data is permitted to be transferred to the new university to which the scholar intends to relocate, provided that the research work doesn't relate to a project secured by the parent institution or supervisor from any external funding source. So, apart from this, the Department of Science and Technology, regulated by Government of India, they has offered us a program, Gati, that is Gender Advancements for Transforming Institution, for women, for the women scholars engaged in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine area at institutional level. The Gati program is now launched by the Department of Science and Technology. This initiative primarily aimed at providing opportunities to women scientists and technologists between the age group of 27 to 57 years who had a break in their career but desired to return to mainstream. So sometimes it happens that due to some reasons we have break in our research period during the PhD or due to some other reasons. So there are three different schemes, three different fellowships provided by DST. First is Women Scientist Scheme A, then WOSB and WOSC. First two is of our concern because that is related to the researchers engaged in science and technology. So this is the scholarship they are providing. So pay qualification for getting this scholarship, if you're a PhD in basic or applied sciences, you will be getting 55,000 plus HRA, and in total you can get 30 lakh rupees. And if you are MPhil, MTech, M Pharma or M Masters in Vocational Sciences, you will be getting this much of amount and 25 lakh rupees in total. So this is, and the source from where I'm getting these data, I have already shared the link in this slide. Apart from the DST, there is one more agency, that is Science and Engineering Research Board, regulated by Government of India itself. They are also offering power fellowships, and they are targeting the women researchers aging from 35 to 55 years of age. And each year they provide maximum 25 fellowships, and 15,000 in this fellowship they will be giving 15,000 per month and maximum 10 lakh rupees, and overhead amount will be 90,000 per annum, and that will be for 3 years only. The same agency is also providing power research grants to the different categories of women researchers. They are categorized these in two levels. Level 1 will be including research scholars from IITs, IISERs, IISCs, NITs, central universities, and national labs. And the level 2 includes state candidates from the state universities, colleges, and private academics. So apart from that, one more agency, that is Science and Engineering Research Council. They also provide scholarship for different purposes. For example, for attending the conferences here in India or on abroad, or for conducting any of the research events, or for participating in any of the research events. Apart from that, they are also, if you go on this its page, you will be having different fellowships provided by these agencies, like visiting fellowships, Ramana Fellowship, Fast Track Scheme for Young Scientists, Ramanujan Fellowships. Lots of fellowships are common for women as well as men researchers. Apart from UGC, SERB, and SERC, AICT is also providing some doctoral fellowship schemes depending on the different eligibility criteria. And they provide fellowships to promote research, to nurture talents, and to promote collaborative research between institutes and industries. So eligibility conditions are here. The fellowship contingency will be granted to research scholars admitted in research institutes of AICT, and National Nodal Center will augment the process for selecting candidate as per the eligibility criteria for grant of national doctoral fellowships. And these are the parameters on the basis of that they will be providing fellowships. The candidate should be less than 30 years of age as on 31st of August of each year. And they're also AICT is also providing different scholarships to the candidates belonging to SC and ST categories, and from the weaker, financially weaker sections also. So they are also available on the AICT page. Duration of this scholarship is 3 years, and every year they give this scholarship to 150 candidates. Uh, these are the references from where I have taken this, uh, from where I have taken this data of the fellowships. I will be sharing this PPT and the links to on the Women in IR Google groups so that you can also explore these fellowships more. Thank you. Apart from this, there are other agencies regulated by Government of India, that is CSIR, DRDO, ISRO, and they're also providing various scholarships to the women researchers as well as the man researchers, depending on the different criteria. Over to Manjira.
Hi, thank you, Mansi and Manju, for this very informative discussion. Actually, I should have said this at the beginning. So, why we did this particular exercise is when we used to be young researchers, particularly during our PhDs, and even now in the early careers, we have all number of times we have felt the need for accessing different travel and scholarships opportunity from the external funding agencies. And as these informations are difficult to find at one place in a comprehensive manner, most of the time we were not aware of the opportunities unless actually the time passed. So we thought that this is one thing that can really help the scholars beginning their research career or their professional careers, to really access different funding information, and the thing and also to explore them to their full potential. So now we will go to our paper presentation session, and I request Manju to coordinate this session, introduce the panelists, and then we will go by the papers one by one. And also I would like to request that each paper has 10 minutes for presentation and question answering. So it will be better if you can keep the presentation time to 7 minutes, or and give 2-3 minutes for the panelists to give you feedback. So over to you, Manju.
Yeah, thanks, Manjira. Firstly, I will welcome our two eminent panelists, Dr. Poonam Goyal and Dr. Namita Mittal, ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am, in our session here. So I will briefly introduce both of our eminent personalities, eminent women scientists. First of all, I would like to introduce Dr. Poonam Goyal, ma'am. Dr. Poonam Goyal is an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Information Systems, Birla Institute of Technology and Sciences, Pilani. Ma'am heads the Web Intelligence and Social Computing Laboratory of the department. She is also a core member of Advanced Data Analytics and Parallel Technologies Laboratory. Ma'am received her Master's of Engineering degree in Software Systems from BITS Pilani and PhD in Numerical Analysis from IIT Roorkee. She specializes in the areas of big data analytics, high performance computing, multimedia retrieval, computer vision, and natural language processing. Her research has contributed in various social and scientific domains, majorly social media analytics, multimodal knowledge graphs, and bioinformatics. She has published several research articles in various top-tier conferences and journals of national and international repute, such as IEEE Transactions on Multimedia, ACM transactions on multimedia computing communications and applications, IEEE transactions on social computing, Journal of Data Science and Applications, IEEE cluster, IEEE big data, IEEE high PC, IEEE ACM, ASA, and ICMR, to name a few. Ma'am has also filed a few patents related to knowledge graphs. She's also part of program review committee of various conferences and journals and served as principal investigator and co-principal investigator for a few sponsored research projects. She is co-recipient of 2010 IBM Research Innovation Award under the Smarter Planet initiatives in the area of scalable data analytics. We are delighted to have your presence, ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am. Now I will briefly introduce our another eminent woman scientist as panelist, Dr. Namita Mittal. Dr. Namita Mittal is working as an associate professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Malviya National Institute of Technology, Jaipur. Ma'am is a recipient of Career Award for Young Teachers by AICTE. Her current research areas are information retrieval, data mining, natural language processing, and machine learning. She has published more than 100 research papers in reputed international conferences and journals. She is also a member of review committees for refereed journals and conferences. Ma'am is senior member of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics, member of ACM, member of Cloud Computing Innovation Council of India, and member of Soft Computing Research Society, to name a few. She has conducted various faculty development programs, conferences, workshops, PhD colloquium in FIRE 2017, Gyan course on advances on data and web analytics 2017, international workshop on text analytics and retrieval in web intelligence 2018 conference held in Chile. We are honored to have such an eminent woman scientist amongst us today. Welcome, you're most welcome. We are honored to have both of you, ma'am. Uh, so can we proceed further with the permission of our eminent woman scientist panelists?
Yes, Manju, please go ahead.
All right. So as Manjira has also already shared that each and every participant or presenter will be having 10 minutes to present. First 7 minutes for the presentation and the next 3 minutes for the queries and the suggestions, right? So very firstly, I would I would request Ms. Chanchal Suman, PhD scholar from IIT Patna, to share her presentation. Ms. Chanchal.
So I think you need to make Chanchal the co-host so that she can hear. And I think she is under the name Agnita Chandra.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Wait.
Wait. Okay. Okay, Chanchal, go ahead.
I think, Manjura, I'm not able to make her co-host. Can you please do it?
Yes, Manjira, only host can do it.
Only host can do it.
I did.
And please do it for each and every participant.
Yes. So Manju, I am transferring the host permission to you, okay?
All right.
So you can make everyone co-host, okay?
Okay.
So, ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, Chanchal, it is visible. Please go ahead. Yeah.
So should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. So a very warm good afternoon to all of the eminent scientists from computer science and engineering. So I am Chanchal. My supervisors are Dr. Siparna Saha and Dr. Pushpak Bhattacharya, and I am from Indian Institute of Technology, Patna. So today I will be talking about my research topic, which is recognizing authors' traits using social media data. So As we know that due to the increase of internet usage, the door of anonymity has opened. So anyone can write anything or can post anything on different social media platforms using the anonymous ways. So forensic authorship analysis is the process of examining the characteristics of a question text in order to draw conclusion on its authorship. So due to those anonymous things, sometimes some cybercrime happens, and we have to draw the conclusions about the authorship. And from the conclusions, I mean like the profile of the author, maybe its identity or the gender, age, or personality, or anything. So this can be done in three ways: authorship identification, verification, and profiling. So in the verification, we have to decide whether the probable suspect, like we have some suspect called A, so then we have to decide whether the A has written or posted the thing or not. Similarly, in the identification, we have to choose the probable suspect, and in the profiling, we have to find the profile of the suspect. So yes, these are the things which generally occur due to the anonymity, phishing, spamming, harassments, identity theft, threatening, etc. So actually my work is a project, it's funded by METI, Ministry and Electronics of Information Technology India, which is a part of a project, Digify toolset. So the aim of that project is to analyze the suicide notes, ransom notes, or faked Twitter or hacked Twitter accounts, like those things. So this is the practical application of this work. So coming to the verification part, we have to decide, like here are some notes written by Jill, and finally there is a suspect note, and we have to find whether Jill has written this or not. So this can be used in the suicide note analysis. Like maybe we have found some suicide note, obviously the electronic suicide note, not the handwritten. So from the electronic suicide note, we have to find that the whether the person who has committed suicide, so has he really wrote that document or not. So in case if it is handwritten, then it's normal, like we can match the handwriting. But if it is written by electronically, the only way is to identify the writing style of the suicide, and then we can confirm that okay, whether he or she has committed suicide and written the note or not. So I have done some research. So in our proposed approach, we have collected Twitter-based data, and we have just designed a Siamese LSTM-based network which uses words and emoji for the final prediction. So these are the performance, and while doing error analysis, we came to know that if there are two users which uses similar type of words or emojis in their tweets or in their posts, then it is difficult to understand their style. So basically this is the style identification work. And the next work is on authorship identification. Where we have to identify whether these notes who has written the note, either John, Jill, Jenny, or somebody else. So in this way, this is the identification. And here we have developed some capsule network based thing. So basically my work is on neural network, deep learning. So we are basically interested in developing deep learning kind of architecture. So this is the proposed approach which uses capsule based thing. And for the analysis part, we analyzed that okay, while after creating feature map, we came to know that okay, we can capture the writing style, that thing of that post which can relate to its identity. Like in this in this picture, it can be seen that Hollywood and that time 10:19:33 is consistent everywhere. So we can say that okay, all these are written by the same person. And the next thing is author profiling, where we have to predict the user's profile given some documents. So the profile can be gender, age, personality, its dialect, occupation, fame, etc. So we have to define we have to predict its profile. So the first one is gender prediction. So I have used the PAN 2018 dataset. PAN is a share task organized. PAN is a share task forum. Okay, so it holds different share tasks. So our basic idea is to use the attention module between text and images, so that text representation and image representation can be learned simultaneously. So, and after doing error analysis, we came to know that the fact that psychological analysts have already set up that generally male users write things about political, textual, money, technology, and science, and female users write things about food items, emotional, natural scenes, baby, and personal life. So, this is persistent in this document also. So, whenever these gender based users use things confusingly, then our model gets confused. So in that case, sometimes multimodality is helping. So we are taking help from text as well as images too. And in the next work, this is personality prediction. So we have given a video and we have to extract different features from video and audio, and then finally combining using concatenation or any different attention mechanism, we have to predict its personality. So basically these are the 4 works which I am doing. Some of them are already published and some of them are communicated. So basically this is my overall research work which is going from my end. So these are some publications. So we have 2 journals, one in cognitive computation and other one is expert system. And there is one system paper which was a shared task of FIRE 2019 only. And recently I got an acceptance in ICON 2020, which is going to be held in IIT Patna only from today itself. So these are some publications, and thank you. So this is my contact. So my supervisors are again Dr. Siparna Sir and Dr. Pushpak Bhattacharya. And this is my Gmail ID and work email. Thank you.
Okay. I have a
So
query.
very good presentation, very good idea. So I have one question. When you talked about writing style, so are
Yes,
you
ma'am.
considering handwriting as well?
No, ma'am. Actually, on the electronic documents.
Okay, written by himself.
Yes, ma'am. Himself or herself. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what about author profiling? You said that somehow, how do we detect it's not a fake? Is there any criteria?
For fake, I have not done anything. Like last year only, PAN has organized a share task for bot and normal user identification. So that, okay, so fake, like from the fake, you mean that the document is not written by the user, or
yeah, a profile is made by him, not by him.
Okay. Actually, ma'am, from the profile, I mean to say it's gender, age, personality, like we can detect its gender. So I have given some text document or any kind of document, and I can predict from the written words or writing style that whether this thing can be written by a female or can be written by a male. Similarly, its age group, its personality traits. So this can be thing like not the you are that telling that comes in the celebrity profiling, so that we can generate the overall profile of a celebrity where we can have all its criteria. So actually, so this is normal author profiling. So here I am just concluding about its profiles.
Okay, good.
Yes,
am I audible?
Yes,
Poonam here. Okay. So can I ask one question?
Yes, ma'am. Sure,
It was a good presentation by you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So initially you said that if somebody has written suicide note or something, so from where that data is coming? I mean, data is very difficult to capture that kind of data.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the thing is, this project is funded by the METI India. So from METI, we didn't get any data. They told that suicide notes and ransom notes are very critical things, so we can't give it. So actually, I'm basically doing these things on Twitter dataset, and one of my colleague who is in the same project. So he is doing an emotion analysis of suicide notes mainly. So he has collected some suicide notes from different books and different sources. So but that data is very little, like I guess only 800 or 1000 something suicide notes he has collected till now.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So how your analysis will be applicable to this once you are not using suicide notes
Yes, ma'am. Actually,
and other
this
things?
is the
How do you
problem.
relate it?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, this problem we conveyed to the funding agency very much time, but they only told that okay, just develop a model using some social media data. We will see what can we do. So we don't have any idea. So actually, right now we have some 1000 suicide notes. So I am planning that after the successful development of these models, I will test the model's efficiency on those suicide notes, but we really don't know how to deal with the real time data and other things, because they are not, like, we convinced them very much, but they were not like supposed to give any of note on to us.
Okay. Okay. That's all from my side.
May I ask one question?
Yes, I'm sure, ma'am.
Chanchal.
Yeah.
So, as we are talking on suicide notes, can your project would be a part of going because you are collecting tweets, no? So,
Yes,
from
ma'am.
the tweets, can you find out that the person who is the author of the tweets could take into a suicidal attempt? So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
also
This is
a part of your project, though you are not having direct suicide notes, because it is a very rare thing that on tweets the suicidal notes could occur, but
yes, ma'am.
still we can find out, like in Sushant Singh case, that some
Hmm.
material was there on the tweets.
Yes, ma'am.
Though if we could do these things, then it will be a lot of contribution to the society. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, we are planning to do this in the personality prediction system. So from there, we can predict the human personality. So from from those personality traits, we can somehow conclude about its normal life, that what is going on, what is his mental health. So from those points only we are trying to conclude about the suicide, like whether he or she is going to commit suicide or not. So from those points only we are planning to conclude.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else from the participants who wants to ask query from Chanchal related to her
Um,
work? Yeah.
yes. Thank you, ma'am, for the knowledgeable presentation. Thank you, Chanchal, ma'am. This is Shikha. I'm also working in the field of natural language processing. My question might be not possible from the context, but the thing which I want to ask you is, uh, if you have tried the sentence embedding, in your case, in your opinion, word level features contribute much, or the sentence level feature are having much more effect than the word level features, like if you have explored?
Yeah, surely word level features, and in fact not word level, character level features, because tweets are very short thing. So we can't like I have explored word level, character level and sentence level, and from that things only I got to know, and obviously from the literature works, that for shorter texts, character level embeddings are helping much.
Okay. And also, normalization was the process. Have you included normalization in your process? Like, have you find it fruitful to normalize things, or it is actually increasing the complexity of the algorithm?
No, actually normalizing, from the normalization, if you meant the normal pre-processing and other things, then yes, pre-processing is making it complex, because due to pre-processing and normalization, many writing style things like stop words, punctuations, usage of space, using of dots and other things. Like my personal writing style is, whenever I write something, I used to, like if I'm chatting, I used to keep 2 or 3 dots maximum time. So this is somehow my writing style. So if I will remove those things due to normalization, in the process of normalization, then it is affecting the system. So that's why I am using the any document or any text which is coming, I am using it in the raw form only.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Chanchal, for your nice presentation. Now,
Thank you,
as
ma'am,
per the thank you. As per the request of Ms. Shikha Mundra, we are taking presentation of Shikha Mundra. Shikha ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please share your PPT. Chanchal, please stop sharing your
Yes,
screen.
I'm like pause there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have not stopped it.
Take your time, no issue. Yes, Shikha ma'am, you're not audible.
Okay, is my screen
Yeah,
visible?
it is visible, ma'am. It is visible. Yeah.
Okay. So, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, respected eminent professors. My topic is classification of hate speech in Hindi English code mixed social media text, and I'm doing the work under Dr. Namita Mittal, and she is the associate professor in MNIT Jaipur. Why I have chosen this topic is because since in the current trend, the cyberbullying attacks, cyber harassment, hate speech are increasing day by day. Since we are using and we are moving towards social media more and more for our informal communication, right? Or to share any suggestion or to share any kind of opinion onto any agenda, or for an for a group communication also, we are using social media at max. So that's why this actually it gives us a freedom of speech along with the anonymity, but the drawback of anonymity is that along with the positive aspect, we are having some kind of a negative aspects, like people are spreading hate speech or rumors or trollings or bullying each others, or have a point of view towards any agenda. So the major thing is ki hate speech in it is an important field in NLP which is required to be detected, and it has a crucial application in sentiment analysis, in investigating cyberbullying, and also social political controversies. I have chosen hate speech detection in code mixed Hindi English social media because individually hate speech in particularly in monolingual English language has been done much, but it has not been explored for Hindi English code mixed data. I mean to say in code mixed Hindi English, that means it is Hinglish. A Hinglish is mixture of Hindi and English language, and in the normal flow when we speak in India, especially when we speak, our source language is Hindi, or we make us feel comfortable in writing or speaking in Hindi and mixing English words along with the Hindi. Again, with the code mixed Hindi English, we are mixing two language. Along with that, we are using Romanized Hindi language, that is again increasing the difficulty level to perform this hate speech detection task. So that's why that is the motivation to choose this hate speech detection for code mixed Hindi English language. The major common type of hate speech event detected in the literature is posting hurtful comments, humiliating rumors, or comments about individual or about a group also, or issuing online threats about an individual killing themselves or hurting someone else, or in hurting someone else, issuing or provoking provoking such type of comments if explode onto the internet, then that is said to be a hate speech event, and triggering religious or racism, racial, ethnic, or political comment. So these all comes into this hate speech comments. Now, this is an example of hate speech code mix language. So, as per the research conducted by the Microsoft, what they have done is they have extracted, scraped the data and compared the ratio of how much, if what if the source language is English, then how much percentage of Hindi usage is there, and if the source language is Hindi, then how much percentage of English usage is there. And the researchers have found that percentage of English borrowing English language in the source language Hindi is comparatively more than the source language as English, and borrowing language is Hindi. So here's an example that is on the left side. It is shown that Amish ji, I am your fan and have seen all your movies. So here G is a word that is in the Hindi and rest of the words are in English. So so these are the two examples. But the in onto the social media, in context towards India or Indian agendas, the researchers have found that borrowing words from English are comparatively more. Again, the code mixing phenomenon is a process of borrowing words from the foreign language in while communicating or writing in the source language. So here, in my case, the source language is Hindi and the borrowing language or the foreign language is English. Now, again, with the complexity of the code mixing, there arises one more complexity, that is Romanized, usage of Romanized text. Usage of Romanized text is, since we are now comfortable because of this smartphones and laptops, because of this portable devices, we are now more comfortable to write Hindi using English alphabets rather than using completely a Devanagari language. We are more comfortable to write English in Hindi in the using alphabets, English alphabets. That actually results in a non-standard huge amount of or bulk amount of data onto the social media, and it also results in occurrence of misspelled word or non-standards words, and that actually increases the complexity of the language at the understanding level. Now, here is an example which I have shown. The data set is from NAACL. The data set is about hate speech. The left one is of the hate speech and the right one is of the non-hate speech. Now, looking at the data set, it's actually very difficult to analyze the hate speech. If you will look at the left part as well as the right part, we cannot just extract the information based on the keywords or just based on the words, because for example, in the left side, here the word is Narendra Modi, you are a hopeless PM. So hopeless is a word which is pointing towards the negative. So in a similar way, nafrat, dhoka, corruption, rape, hate, nafrat, these all abusive words also are there. So these are the words which are pointing towards the hate. But if we look at the non-hate also, again, since we are on the social media, people are having the freedom of speech also. Now the major problem is it is very difficult to discriminate the hate speech and the freedom of speech. So the right side column is non-hate, that is freedom of speech. People are using words like rape, hate, and these words have been used in non-hate also. This actually this is the major problem, or this is actually increasing the difficulty level of detecting hate speech from the all over social media text. So this shows that only the word level features will not be enough to discriminate between hate speech and non-hate speech. Now, this is the general framework for any classification task when we need to perform. So I have shown some of the traditional methods or traditional feature extraction methods, that is term frequency, inverse document frequency, n-gram, bag of words. And we are also having some of the lexicon available, that is Indo WordNet and Hindi Senti WordNet that are available for Hindi language. And these are the statistical features, that is TF-IDF, n-gram and bag of words. These are the traditional features, and the recent features are word embedding, that is word to vec, fast text that has been and glove, that is global vector, and BERT also. So these are the recent feature extraction algorithm. These features have been regularized by CNN and LSTM in the recent literature, and these commonly called as the feature map. We use these features to classify or to solve our problem. So these are the two type of features, broadly classified into two parts. Again, the lexicon features are not very much applicable to the complexity of the problem at the very complex level. Again, since we have already talked that the word level features are not enough, so that's why considering only or extracting or deciding based on only on the lexicon will not be enough. So that's why we have to have use some of the semantic based information as well to classify or to solve our target. So some of the related work, some of the related work that has been done priorly to solve this particular problem is in 5, author has used some of the statistical feature extraction, statistical features, for example character engram and combination of character engram, and they have found that combination of character engram and combination of word engram is fruitful in case of code mixed Hindi English language. But since we are having a good word embedding, pre-trained word embedding for English language, so it is easier to apply things for English language rather than Hindi or noisy Hindi language. So that's why in this author has preferred character engram, that is statistical features algorithm. Again, the drawback for just for using statistical feature algorithm is if we actually change the order of the sentences, in that case the algorithm will actually degrade its performance. Now the second thing is in the 6th, the author has created their own domain specific, that is aggressive, using abusive words. They have scraped the data and they have created their own word to vec, or they have created their own word embedding, not but they haven't shown the way how to deal with the out of vocabulary. And also, can we use this domain specific word embedding to some other task also? In the 4th, the author has used character embedding, and in case of character embedding, the best thing with this is there is no pre-processing or the normalization is required. The raw information is used to apply or to extract the local features using CNN, and several classifier has been applied to this. And in 7th, to to overcome the drawback, to overcome the limitation of force, that they have used the raw features. They have, what they have done is they have extracted the syllable level features. Syllable is a phonic unit, so they have extracted the syllable level features, and then they have got the best accuracy with the hierarchical LSTM model.
Shikha, please sum up your presentation.
Yeah.
Already 10 minutes passed. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. So in third, what the author has worked in this, the author has worked for the language English, and they have found that the CNN has performed the best. In second, again the work has been done for English language, but the classifier has been experiment, that is gradient boosted decision tree, which has performed the best. And in first, the author has used a multi-channel embedding CNN. So what they have done is they have created multiple channels, and through each channel they have used their separate word features as well as character features to perform the task. Now the challenges which are still there to overcome or to solve this problem is that what are the normalization methods we can have, since there is no normalization method that can normalize the non-standard language, along considering the context also. There are algorithms that are rule based, but they do not consider context. The second is what if we do not have a supervised data? What if we have an unsupervised data? What are the methods that are still need to be explored? The author till now haven't explored about the out of vocabulary, how to handle handle these out of vocabulary words because we are dealing with a non-standard text. And also we are not able to directly use the lexicon knowledge, available lexicon knowledge, because we are dealing with the non-standard text, and lexicon knowledge is somewhat word-based knowledge only, and that will not contribute much. So what are the ways if we can contribute, if we want to have a contribution from the lexicon, available lexicon also? And also there is no sentence proper or optimized sentence embedding methods to solve these problems. So currently I am working on these challenges, and these are the major challenges that I have came across. These are the references. Thank you very much.
No question from my side, Poonam ma'am.
Okay, yeah. So this is a challenging work because there is no lexicon per se for English.
Yes.
So uh, are you thinking towards making this kind of language as acceptable language and come up with the lexicon for this?
The thing is ki we do not have any finite boundaries to write any word. For example, I can write a word if I, because I'm free to write a word in multiple spelling. For example, apna I can write in AAPNA, APNA, APPNA. I cannot have any finite boundaries. So a proper only the lexicon will not work. Again, the thing is ki if we extract features from word only, then it will be difficult because the words are actually common in both the cases. So word level features will not be sufficient.
No, maybe the specified words may not be sufficient, but can you come up? Do you have good enough data that you can train your model and come up with your own embeddings for these things? Of
Yeah,
course.
yes, ma'am. I have. Yes, ma'am. I have tried to create a word embedding based on this, especially based on collecting this hate speech data I have picked up from my agenda, and I have created my own word topic. But the major problem is I have found 50% out of vocabulary word. Like my 36,000 was my vocabulary. Out of them, I have found 16,000 as an out of vocabulary words. So that's
Out of
why.
vocabulary, you mean out of English, Hindi?
No, ma'am. Out of vocabulary is a word
Training
embedding always.
data. Training
Training data.
data.
Training
Okay.
data. And Word2Vec is scraping lots and lots of data from the web. Like it can be a Wikipedia, it can scraping so that we can have a
Yeah.
synthetic information. But
Yeah.
again, if our training word is not, we cannot found our training word from that existing word embedding, then also it is an issue because it will not be able to extract the meaning of the word. So to resolve this, I am thinking of to create two channels. One channel is for the word and one channel is for the character, so that I can approximately, if I can found the character n-gram match, if I found, then I can extract those words to reduce the out of vocabulary. This is the way I'm thinking for in the future.
Okay. It's nice presentation, by.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else has query related to Shikha ma'am's presentation? Okay, so shall I move to another presentation? Before moving towards next presentation, I will also remind our participants that total 10 minutes are allotted to each participant, for 7 minutes for the presentation and 3 minutes for query and suggestions. We can do one thing in this regard. We can either skip our literature work or summarize in a very short. We can summarize our literature work and come to our own work findings and issues, challenges related to your own work. So now I would request Ms. Swati Nagdev, PhD scholar from Vishwesvaraya National Institute of Technology, Nagpur, to share her research work. Ms. Swati, please share your PPT.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, your PPT is visible. Please go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Swati Nagdev from VNIT Nagpur. And my supervisor is Dr. Mansi Radke. And today I'll be presenting the text entailment methodologies, a review of all the basic methodologies which are being implemented today nowadays in various sections. As text entailment is used in different kinds of um, parts like paraphrasing, question answering, and all. Today, I'll be primarily focusing on question answering via text entailment. So, before going towards text entailment, what are question answering system? Nowadays, everyone, whenever everyone gets a new thing, he or she just type the questions over Google. So, Google itself needs a question answering. We need a question answering system where we'll ask a question and we'll get a valid answer. What the valid answer is? The answer relevant to our questions posed by the user. So types of question, how many types of question? We will categorize all the question on basis of three. The factoid question answering, where the goal is just to find the short text, whether it can be from the Wikipedia or the relevant text based on our information retrieval. Knowledge based question answering means where you need to get the mapping to some data set or to particular corpus and search for the knowledge relevant for the question and answer. Now comes using multiple information source. It's just the first stage processing where you will require different resources from where you will gather the information and present it so that that knowledge can be combined and will be useful to us. This question answering system contains the data set basically of grade school level, and multiple choice questions can be there. Now, question answering can be done as text and hypothesis pair. What will mean by text will be a normal natural language text, and for question answering system, we can see hypothesis as the um, preferable answer for that question, and that preferable answer for that question can be from the multiple choice question, the four options as hypothesis, or if there is just a question in answering thing, just a question is there, we can search for the relevant text from our corpus and pick out the preferable question answers and then consider it as an hypothesis. So why we need this? Because the trivial methods used for solving these are not alone sufficient. Like retrieval based algorithm, word co-occurrence algorithm, they are not solving our QA efficiently and giving answers precisely. So basically, what is entailment? Text entailment. The text entailment is a directional relation between the text fragments. The relation holds truth whenever one text of fragment follows the another text of fragment. Here I'll generalize the generalized process of text entailment is you have text and hypothesis pair. You do a pre-processing. This pre-processing can be you are picking out back the matching the words, co-occurrence of the words in text and hypothesis. You are matching the synonyms, antonyms, whether how the words are connective by picking bag of words or anything. The pre-processing is basically on our hand or on the particular model based on model. Then comes enrichment. Enrichment is a part where you'll get the bag of words and you again refine it, or you'll pick according to your own choice. Whatever things you require are valid, or we can say here after filtering something according to your text and hypothesis model, you filter and you pass that to graph generation. Here graph generation is an optional one. Sometimes text and entailment choose the graph generation method. This graph generation is basically from the knowledge base or the hypothesis. Graph is generated from the hypothesis and then alignment is done. Alignment means here we'll judge the rank, or we'll take the score function, all the preferable hypothesis, which one is best for text, and then whether that best text is inferencing, that hypothesis is inferencing the text or not. This is the generalized process of text entailment. Then we'll see the scenario. What is the basic scenario? If we'll have text and hypothesis pair. We can say text and hypothesis both are expressed in slightly different manner, or H is generalized information from the hypothesis is generalized information from the text, or we can say hypothesis is completely having new information with as compared to text. So these three can be the different scenarios. So according to these scenarios, there are various literatures we'll go through. Knowledge graph creation is there. These are the implementation algorithms few researchers have implemented on their paper. I'll just go through just algorithms only, which are being in use, practical implemented algorithms. Knowledge graph creation is there. Navigational distribution graph for providing justification, though it is not working accurately, but yeah, in some case it is giving positive results. Causality measure for finding out the similarities, node first and edge first graph creation. But here you will not get the justification for the answer, whether yes, you are saying that text is concluding our inferencing our hypothesis, but in which manner, if both are having different words, bag of words and all. Then comes apted. This is again based on the navigational and distribution graph, which this apted works separately for syntactic and semantic matching. We'll see the two different work. The workflow here is, if we have text and hypothesis. In pre-processing, if I'm using bag of words, our T dash and H dash, this means text bag of words and hypothesis bag of words, went to the router. It checks whether it is having the partial overlap, or it is having null overlap, or it is having complete overlap. This overlap means the bag of words of text are completely in the bag of words of hypothesis. According to it, if it is the complete overlap, will directly go towards, yeah, this is inferencing. But if there is partial overlap, we'll go through tree edit distance, and if there is nothing, then we'll go towards semantic. That means we'll go towards graph navigation. And there is interpretability module. This interpretability module is for the authors mention. This module will judge which scoring is better, and then justification is produced with the output. So the overlap is computed, as I mentioned, total overlap, partial overlap, and null overlap. That is the bag of words of T dash and H dash, how many tokens are contained in which. If total overlap and null overlap is found, then they use the syntactic and entailment method. And for partial overlap, it is solved using semantic entailment method. Now here comes another workflow where node first and edge first graph creation is used. Here our input is a natural language question as it is, and we have the data set or specific corpus for it. Example, if I am working on a summary English, we reading passage thing. So if a passage is coming, picking out from some chapter or what, so as a data set, we have that complete chapter with us. So using that as a query, we have node first framework and relation first framework. This is done by having analysis and pre-processing and getting bag of words things. According to that, they'll choose node first and relation first. Or if node first is being choose, so node recognition is there, which node or which or which is the paragraph or where this the statement will find a relevant thing, and picking out that will build a super semantic query graph. With that query graph, we have two things. One is the super semantic query graph. Second is already our data set we have. With that, we'll go with the phrase matching. And as soon as phrase mapping is done, a subgraph matching.
Sorry for interruption. Swati, sorry for interruption. Please sum up your presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
With the other one, relation first framework, extraction will extract the semantic relation and then build the semantic query graph, and so on the process continues with the same thing. Here, the process consists of elimination of ambiguity, phrase linking, determining the triple relationship, that is subject, object, and subject, predicate, and object, and resolving the ambiguity via graph only. The main outcome is it has two data-driven graphs for RDF question answering, and it increases the performance with precision and speed up the process. The conclusion is we all know that NLP, how much NLP is important as we are training our system so that our system can understand as human understood. So for this, the AI people are working so hard, and basically RTE is the basic block which is being developed to develop this kind of framework. And the future work here is we can't tell, or RT, any method of RT can tell 100% correct answer, because a computer have not their own thinking. To make them think, it is a dream of a human, and AI people are working since years. So the scope is open for all. Though WordNet and documentations and other resources have make our work and entailment easier and a bit proper with inferencing methods. So these are the references, and thank you. If any question is there.
It was nice presentation. Which year it is? In which year you are, Swati?
It's my third semester, second year.
Okay, okay. So far any paper publication?
No, ma'am, not yet any.
Okay. Keep going. Good work. Over from my side.
Okay, no questions. It's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, Swati, for this nice presentation. Now, I myself, as a research scholar from Banastali Vidyapeeth, is presenting my research work here. So I'm sharing my PPT. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, visible.
Yes. Okay, so actually I wanted to show it in a slideshow mode, but it is not happening here. No, I myself, Manju Lata Joshi, and research scholar from Banastali Vidyapeeth, under the supervision of Dr. Nishith Joshi and co-supervision of Dr. Namita Mittal ma'am. So my topic of presentation is semantic graph-based information retrieval from Hindi text documents using ontologies. Just wait. This is the agenda of today's presentation. I will briefly discuss the problem or the issues which motivated me to do or to pick up this particular topic for the research, and what is the idea of solution for it, and what are the issues and challenges I'm facing. So I'm also having 7 minutes for the presentation, so I'll try to sum up within 7 minutes itself. So the motivation of work, research gaps find, objectives of this research, the proposed methodology, expected outcomes, applications of the work, issues and challenges I faced in this research, and I will conclude with the references I have referred for this. So first of all, most of the work in area of information retrieval and extraction, the most of the research work is done either for the English language or for the cross-language information retrieval. There is very less research work as compared to the English language for the Hindi language corpuses or other Indian regional languages. Because of this, the Hindi is a resource poor language as far as the research resources are concerned as compared to English. To develop a novel strategy to deal with variations in language constructs, query structure, common words, etc. And for our research work, we are using Hindi WordNet for as background knowledge source. So basically, as compared to English language, there are various language constructs we are having, and due to this, we are having difficulty when we analyze Hindi text. So there are some major differences, some structural differences. Like in English, we follow subject, verb, object. In our language, and in Hindi, we follow subject, object, verb. Similarly, we follow prepositions in English, while for Hindi we follow postposition. And there is a great significance of capital letters in English, while there is no such thing available in Hindi language. And the use of diacritics, and that is matra in Hindi, that is very much important in our case, but there is no such thing in English. So complexity of working with the English language is less as compared to Hindi language. Why we are using graph-based algorithms? Because in graph-based algorithms, they are essentially a way of deciding the importance of the vertex. As in graphs, we can divide our graph in vertices and edges. So vertices within a graph by taking into account local and global informations recursively. And their language independent representation. Once the document, we convert our document into form of graph, we can apply a number of graph theoretical measures to find various results for different applications used in information retrieval and extraction. Why we are using ontologies? Because they are providing us as a semantic knowledge source, and we can find out semantic relations between the terms used in the documents. That's why we are using ontologies here. Formally, the ontologies are data model that represents a set of concepts without or within a domain and the relationships between those concepts, and it is used to reason about the objects without or within that domain. That this definition is firstly given by Gruber in 1999. As ontology, our work is for Hindi text documents. The ontology we are using, that is Hindi WordNet. That is in Hindi WordNet, the ontology is basically structured or organized in a set of synonyms. That is a shot of how this is a snapshot, or you can see this is a pictorial representation, that how a particular word is structured or organized in ontology. Like for example, guy is a word, and how the other semantically related, for example, with hypernyme semantic relationship, or meronyme or antonyme, or the glosses, or the any other verb related or adjective or adverb related semantic relations are there. So each and every relation, semantic relation, is presented for each and every concept or the term in Hindi WordNet. So for this, as we are working with the IR, we are addressing two different applications, the keyword extraction and automatic text summarization. Both are based on semantic graphs and using ontology. Research gaps which we found in the work is that in most of the graph-based approaches, the graph-based approaches are basically, they are not addressing the semantic issues of the document. Basically, most of the graph-related research work are dependent on the co-occurrence of the words. They are referring the co-occurrence of the words, and they are extracting their findings or results by using that only. So they are not, most of the research works, they are not addressing the semantic issues of the document, which is very much essential. So applications of Hindi WordNet is not exhaustively explored. Like by using the English WordNet, there is a lot of work, research work already available, but still Hindi WordNet is such a useful research resource. Still, it is not much explored. For document pre-processing, co-reference resolution for named entities needed to be handled for Hindi documents, like as Nisha can be referred as Nisha Sharma. So we have to resolve this co-reference issues. Similarly, for anaphora resolutions, we have to tackle. In Hindi language, there is no distinction between for referring any noun as pronoun like veh. We use veh for female for referring female as well for male. But in English, we are having he and she to differentiate. So there is a lot of things, lot of language constructs available in English which helps us out to explore more. Apart from this, in regard with language network, large number of graphical properties are still unexplored for retrieval and extraction purposes. So these are the research gaps which we will be trying to handle. The objectives of this work is to convert a text document into form of a semantic graph and then produce a summary and extracting keywords. And apart from that, we will also apply some fuzzy logic on the semantic graph to extract more useful results. This is the proposed methodology. We will be having corpus. We have to pre-process that by removing stop words and performing stemming. Then we have to tag them with part of a speech. And then what we are doing here, the idea of doing is to extracting keyword by first of all, we will extract the noun words from the documents. Why we are taking noun words? We are calling noun words as content word here. Why we are taking noun words here only? Because it is observed that most of the meaning of the document is conveyed by the noun words. So we are dealing with noun words of the documents. Then by taking these noun words, we will be constructing semantic graph. And for constructing semantic graph, we are taking Hindi wordnet as background knowledge to extract semantic relationship between the words of the documents. Then we will apply, once it is constructed, once the semantic graph is constructed, we will be applying some graph theoretic measures on it to extract keywords. Once it is done, then we will apply fuzzy logic, because what happens in using Hindi wordnet, there are the semantic relationships exist in Hindi wordnets. They are crisp in nature. Whether the relationship between the two words will be there or not means the Boolean kind of relationship. But sometimes it happens that there are two words which are not directly related, but to some degree, to extent of some degree, they are related. For example, there are the two words ladki and aurat. They are not directly related as shown in Hindi wordnet, so they are not showing any relationship. But according to the human annotation, we can see that ladki and aurat, they can sometimes, in few cases, they can be used interchangeably. So there is some degree of relationship confined. So there are a number of words we found, where we can apply fuzzy logic and we can have more significant result as far as keyword extraction and summary is a result, summarization is results. The expected outcomes is the construction of semantic graph, keyword extraction, automatic summary, and the fuzzy semantic graph. The data set which we are using for this research work is Hindi tourism sensitict corpus and Hindi health sensitict corpus provided by CFILT IIT Bombay. Hindi WordNet, we are using APIs of Hindi WordNet and Gephi as graph visualization tool. The applications of keyword extraction we found in topic detection of the document. We can construct title, we can summarize the text by using the keywords, we can perform semantic indexing, and we can comment on nature of the document. So there are some significant applications of keyword extraction. The issues and challenges which we are facing in this research work is very first thing that for Hindi language, we are lacking benchmark data set for open domain as well as closed domain. Then lack of standard approaches for IR, information retrieval for Hindi text document is also lacking. For my algorithm, if for the proposed work, if I want to compare it for some existing standard approach, I do not have any approach. So what I need to do, I have to go for the approaches which are applied on English language. For example, I have compared my work with text rank, lex rank, and so on. And lack of standard online resources for comparative study like tools. There is no Hindi text summarization online tool is available, while for English there are n number of text summarization tools are online available. So the people, researchers can easily compare their work. If they are working in English, they can compare their work with the standard summarization tools. Lack of gold standard keywords and standard summary. Due to this particular thing, as we are not having any standard keywords, we have to go for the human annotations. So we have to take help of human annotations, and that is too subjective. It depends on person to person. That for me, a keyword, if a term can be keyword, but for another person it cannot be. So the results may diverse because of this. So what happens because of this reason, because we have to take help of human annotation for verifying our work or to evaluate the performance, we cannot go for the very large data set, because we cannot annotate by each and every document with the human. If I have 1,000 documents, I cannot go for each document with human annotation. So that is the limitations we are having. So apart from that, for English WordNet, there are some other applications also developed. For example, semantic similarity measure and all, but still for Hindi WordNet, it is still need to be explored. So these are some of the issues which I am facing for it. So these are the with this I will concluding my presentation. These are the references I have used for my work. Uh, Thank you. Please feel free to ask
I have
queries.
couple of queries. Can I?
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Please go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah,
So you are saying you are using WordNet, right?
yeah.
So WordNet is also manually built, crowdsourced for Hindi.
Yes, it is built by Dr. Pushpa Bhattacharya's team in IIT Bombay.
No,
Yeah,
no,
in
that's
2006.
fine. That's
Yeah,
fine. But WordNet itself in English also, it is a
yeah,
crowdsources thing. I mean, it's manually done, right?
yeah.
So this WordNet is also manually done. So all those issues like um, perception, view change, different views of the people that actually are there in WordNet itself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But here, my concern is that for they like I'm working for keyword extraction. There are a standard data set with the standard gold keywords are there. So the work, the approach the researcher applies, and the extracted keywords by the proposed methodology, they can compare with the standard keywords.
Right,
Uh,
right. I
so,
understand that. Yeah, I
yeah,
understand that.
that's why we
So,
have to go for the human annotation, and that is a
yeah,
tedious task. Yeah.
yeah, that is true. That
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have to build the ground truth
Yeah.
using, human annotation.
Yes, ma'am.
So, are you looking for some of the automatically labeling the data tools which can be developed for Hindi?
Mm,
Like unsupervised ways of doing such things?
no, ma'am, we are not going for the labeling purposes here right now, but
So
definitely,
ground truth sometimes can be extracted or can be created using some automated ways. Maybe you can use unsupervised approaches to generate the ground truth
yeah, we
to
can,
compare with.
yeah, sure. I will certainly
It may
explore.
not be fully correct, but to some extent,
Yeah,
Lex rank and all also they do some kind of you know um, things. I mean, the result obtained by Lex rank and all is also not fully correct, right?
exactly. Yes, ma'am.
So I think unsupervised way of doing learning will help you a lot in
Yeah,
these
ma'am.
scenarios
I will
because
certainly explore
uh,
this aspect as well. Yeah,
yeah.
yes, surely, ma'am. Surely.
Embed, have you tried Embed? And uh, you know architectures, these are called big architectures, universal architectures like Mbert or I think GT5 or something, they actually work on multi languages. So
Okay.
Mbert is tried on 100 plus languages. Hindi is included in that.
All right. All right, ma'am. Sure, I will certainly explore these tools as per your
Huh.
suggestions. Certainly, it will help to
Yeah, it
deepen.
many
Yeah.
Indian languages are there in Mbert.
All right. All right. Sure, ma'am. Sure, I will definitely try. Yeah. Any other queries, please? Yeah.
None from my side, Manju.
Sure, ma'am. Anyone else from the participant? All right. Thank you so much for giving your valuable time. Now I will call Ms. Tanuja Fegde, PhD scholar from Institute of Management and Research, Jalgaon, Maharashtra.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm sharing my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible, ma'am. Please go ahead. Tanuja, ma'am, please go ahead. Yeah.
Good afternoon to all of you. I'm Professor Tanuja Fegade and my research guide is Professor B.V. Pawar from North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon. My research topic is design and development of computer-aided recommender system for crop selection, which is agriculture related topic. I have developed one recommender system for crop selection by using supervised technique. This is the outline of my work. Introduction is there, then I have explained problem statement, motivation, literature review, challenges, objectives and proposed architecture, dataset preparation, algorithms and my research contributions. In shortly I will explain because only 7 minutes time is there. So introduction is nowadays Indian farmers are facing lots of problems during farming while doing farming and there is a need to increase the income of the farmer by selecting a suitable crop. Means if farmer select suitable crop which is suitable for their land and increase their productivity, then earning will be increased. So development of computer framework for the medium to high production crop based on historical data set and geographic and climatic data is my research focus on my research, and this is the crop recommender system framework for my system. Key input, we have given historical data set for a crop recommender system as an input, and our output is medium high and medium high productivity crop. My model will suggest that these crops are high productivity crops and these crops are medium productivity crops. So problem statement is agriculture plays a prominent role in economy and employment in India. And farming is based on traditional knowledge and past experiences in our country. So selection of crop is an important decision to increase the productivity and income of farmer. And appropriate prediction of crop productivity is required for efficient planning of land usage and economy policy. Hence, there is need to develop computational recommenders framework for crop selection using the state-of-the-art modern technology like machine learning. So this is step of crop model, historical preparation of historical data set, then pre-processing means normalization of that data set, feature extraction, classification using various machine learning algorithms, and then crop selections. These are the steps. Then the motivation is ICT has become a primary need of human beings. We have seen in every field ICT is there and we can increase performance of every system by using ICT. But in comparison with other domains, very limited research work is carried out in the selection of suitable crop. In Indian context, little work is observed for single crop selection like rice, wheat, sugarcane, etc. Only single crop, there is a work for crop selection, but only work is related to single crop like grass, wheat, sugarcane, etc. And for Maharashtra region, very limited research work has been carried out. Machine learning algorithms are used for crop yield prediction and very less work has been observed for crop selection methods. So more efforts are required in agriculture domain for development of computational recommender system for crop selection based on their climatic and geographic. location. So this has motivated us to develop a suitable crop recommendation system. Literature review I'm dropping here because of time limit. Most of researchers actually focus on crop yield prediction, crop disease, weather forecasting, smart irrigation system. But as I have told that the limited work is done for productivity based multi-class recommendation system like high productivity crop, low productivity crop, medium productivity crop. And for Maharashtra region, very less work is done. These are our literature review findings. So various machine learning techniques such as prediction, classification, regression, clustering are utilized to forecast crop yield. All the problems of agriculture sector were realized for technology development. Thus, central and state government have emphasized on the need of faster technology implementation in agriculture. So research challenges are there, creation of historical agriculture knowledge data set in the scratch because no data is available for historical data. Since I am facing lots of problem while collecting data that Indian government websites contain some data. For example, 2001 data is available, 2002 data is not available. And in Maharashtra, state number of districts are there. For some district data is available, for example, rainfall data is available and temperature data is not available. So creation of such type of historical data set in our state is a very big challenge for me. Data set amalgamation as a data is not available in a single source. It is collected from different sources. Every data is stored in different format and in different sources. So to collect and gather it into single data set from various format data is one of the challenge. Then data scaling, normalization, transformation is also one of the challenge. Identification of appropriate features and method for crop recommendation system and selection of best classifier. These are my objectives: to study agriculture domain, then study various computational techniques to create data set, pre-processing techniques, then to design framework for agriculture for computational models, then relevant feature extraction, feasibility study of various machine learning methods and which is suitable for this crop recommender system, and development of hybrid model and evaluation. These are the objective of my research work. Then I have started design and development of crop recommender. In two tasks, I have developed this system. First is by using our own device and implemented algorithm. I have implemented two algorithms, boosted logistic regression and control random forest, which are the extension of logistic regression and random forest algorithm. And second task is hybrid ensemble model. So this is the overall system flow for my work. Here, data collection, data set preparation, training and testing on machine learning algorithm. By using validation data, we have also tested it, and model deployment, evaluation metric, we have done hyperparameter tuning for both algorithm. And then by using hyperparameter, we have made classifier and test new data for that particular classifier, and use evaluation technique like precision, various measures I have used like F measure, precision, recall, accuracy, and compare all the models. Then historical data set, this is example of historical data set. Total 6084 rows are there and 7 columns are there. From Maharashtra region, total 24 districts, 34 districts data is available. I have collected from different government website and offices, and 7 attributes are there: district, year, season, crop, area, rainfall, activity. This is the sample data set. Then I have pre-processed this data by using various techniques, pre-processing technique. Like first is this agriculture data set, and some features are in numerical format and some features are in character format. So main challenge is convert this all categorical data into a into numeric data. So first step is that. Then second step is dependent and independent variable I have separated. Then splitting data into training and testing phase. So I have converted it into 90% as a training and 10% as a testing data. And this is sample data set after pre-processing, after done pre-processing. This is sample data set, pre-processed data set. Then architecture. This is architecture. Historical data set, we have done pre-processing, which is converted into two: training data set and testing data set. We have developed two algorithm: algorithm 1, control random forest; algorithm 2, boosted logistic regression. By using this algorithm, we have developed two model 1 and model 2. Then model 1 predict crop result, model 2 also predict crop result. Then we have evaluate it and compare their result. So proposed algorithm control random forest, which is the extension of random forest algorithm. The focus of this proposed algorithm is to improve the performance of existing random forest classifier in terms of accuracy and time required for learning and classification. So how we have design and derivation this control random forest main by doing hyperparameter tuning. First is explore number of samples. For that we have implemented one function which is known as bootstrapping. Bootstrapping is a concept of training sample with replacement or without replacement. We have used here with replacement. All data is not considered while training the classifier. Only sample data we have select and that trees are split. So this concept is there. Then second is number of features. All features are not selected while doing splitting, but subset of that features will be selected. This is second concept. Then third is number of trees. So algorithm uses the bagging and subspace method to grow the tree. Number of trees we have grow by using these methods, and we have set the value of number of trees which is equal to 500 by doing various experimentation. Then a tree day by default maximum depth is none, but we have set here 10 and generate a maximum number of trees for forest, random forest. So this is algorithm for control random forest, train and test split. After doing this page, we have done bootstrapping of data, means selecting data randomly. All data is not selected for to doing classifier. Number of classifiers are developed by doing bootstrapping data. Then check data types of features. If they are continuous, then it's okay. If they are categorical, then we have to convert it into continuous values for machine learning technique to use. Then splitting features, we have split features, and for that we have calculate entropy. By using entropy, we have minimized the error and split that particular features. Repeat this procedure until no splitting is available for each and every node. Then when number of trees are generated, means forest is generated, then save the model. This is the algorithm. And algorithm in
Tanuja ma'am, please conclude your presentation.
Yeah. So we have developed these two algorithms and compare their result. So their evaluation measures used are precision, recall, then F measure and accuracy, and we concluded that our boosted logistic regression model or algorithm gives more accurate result as compared to control random forest. So these are the contribution we have developed. Agriculture data set for Maharashtra region, which has 24 crops, and data is collected from the year 2010 to 2019. Then we have done a performance evaluation, and for two algorithms we have developed GUI for easily interaction with farmers. And this is the conclusion that boosted logistic regression algorithm gives more good result, better result as compared to control random forest. Thank you. Thank you so much. If any query, you can ask.
Do you have, I mean, how did you get the ground truth? You compared with what?
Ma'am, I compare actually GUI is developed and from GUI historical.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm
Yeah.
asking that you are saying 66% accuracy. So
Yeah.
what is your ground truth?
Um, Actually, I have that particular precision recall. I have calculated that particular performance evaluation measures there by using formulas for precision recall,
No, that
F
I
measure,
understood.
and manually I have compared it. I have collected data. My output is which is a low productivity, high productivity, and medium productivity crops. Whatever my model is suggested, and I have collected. Say I have given that data to particular agriculture expert, and then match that particular data key what satisfaction level is there manually. Also I have done that thing.
Okay.
So this is the same
Thank
question
you.
I wanted to ask. Thank you. No more question from my side.
Yes, no more questions from my side as well.
Anyone from the participants? All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tanuja, for this nice presentation. Now I would request Ms. Vandana Chaudhary from Srimati Gigi Khatse College, Maharashtra, to present her research work. Vandana, ma'am, please share your screen. Yes, it is visible, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Firstly, good afternoon to all respected ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
Yes, it is visible, Vandana, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Myself, Vandana Chaudhary, and I am doing my research work under the guidance of Dr. Manoj Patil, sir. Now here today I am going to present on fast and effective banana disease detection using image processing or using image analysis. So firstly, our India is an agriculture country and agriculture plays a vital role in our Indian economy. And one of the important fruit crop is banana. And banana fruit crop, banana production done in many regions in India. Also, the farmer takes continual effort to enhance the crop yield and reduce the losses. But due to climatic changes, many diseases are appear on the plant, and because of that, the farmer reduce the yield. And so when the diseases appear on the plant, at that time, farmer take expert eye neck opinion, otherwise he take decision according to his own experience. But many times it's not happen that all the farmers get expert eye neck opinion. Otherwise, we not say that the expert eye neck opinion taken by the farmer is accurate or not. So there is a need of automated system. So according to the literature review, support vector machine is one of the most popular classification defined for sorting the image data. So here I focus on automated disease identification of banana plant using visible indications where the leaves are categorized according to their visible indications. This is the proposed architecture of my system. The system is first divided into two parts, training and testing parts. Now in our training and testing parts, firstly the training and testing images are taken, and after that image processing is performed and image segmentation is performed and then feature extractions done, and then the train model is calculated, and by using this train model the images are tested to recognize the disease. Now, firstly, I had captured the disease images from various agriculture farms and centers, but the captured image contains certain kinds of noise. So there is a need to carry out the image pre-processing and segmentation process. So image pre-processing and segmentation process is performed to find out the region of interest. So the segmentation is performed using k-mean clustering method. After the segmentation is performed, once the region of interest is get, then the features are extracted like color, shape and texture features are extracted, and by using the extracted feature, the models is trained and tested by using the support vector machine classifier. Okay, this is the result accuracy. For experiment, I have considered this kind of diseases like black sigatoka, yellow sigatoka, banana bacterial wilt, bunchy top, CMV, and Panama wilt and streak virus. And here I use a 60-40 pattern with 60% data set used for training and 40% used for testing. And I got the result accuracy like this. This is the graphical representation of the accuracy that I got. If we see this graph, it found that the result of streak virus disease is less as compared to other, and the common way to identify the disease is the visual symptoms that appear on the plant. Also, there is always some disparity in color, size, and shapes. And it is observed that the brown or yellow narrow streaks and round spots on leaves were more obvious than yellow vertical streaks. That's why the yellow Sigadoka disease had a good recognition rate, and the recognition rate of banana streak virus was only 67%. And also the collected images having different angles and distance, which reduces the correspondence of characteristics parameters. And finally, my research conclusion is to identify the disease automatically. Visual symptoms of each disease are identified, and it found that color and texture feature play an important role in the identification of disease, and observe that the accuracy is directly proportional to the mean skewness, kurtosis, contrast, and energy. Also, the proposed system use SVM classifier, which provide good accuracy when the disease recognition is performed by using the RBF kernel functions. And references, and thank you. These are the research references.
So couple of questions.
Yes, ma'am, please.
How much data did you use for this analysis?
Actually, I'm using here around 1,500 images.
1,500 images. So did you apply augmentation techniques to enhance your data?
Sorry, ma'am, please.
Did you apply augmentation techniques to enhance your data?
No. I'm using.
No. So you can apply actually augmentation techniques to enhance your data. That will change the, that will increase the number of images. 1:10 or 1:16 images you may be able to get from different angles, different illumination, different rotation, right? So if you increase data, you may get better results. And the second point is which color, which features you are using. It seems that you are using histograms or something, color histogram and other features which are traditional features.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, I'm using the color and texture feature most. Texture feature like contrast, correlation, energy, and homogeneity.
Why didn't you try deep learning features like ResNet features or others? I think your accuracy will be increased by 2 to 3%.
Yes, but I thought that, ma'am, by for using deep learning, I require more data set.
No. You take the pre-trained model, ResNet model, and then you just apply these images to your that model, and you will get the feature set.
Okay.
Feature set, and you can apply SVM on top of it, and whatever you are doing, maybe. I mean, that also you may change, but for feature collection only, feature.
Okay, for
You
feature.
may, feature extraction actually.
Yes, ma'am, I definitely try this.
Because that will increase without doing any other thing 2 to 3% of your accuracy.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
I think that's it from my side.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
You got 1,500 instances as a supervised, right?
Yes.
Did you try for unsupervised as well?
No.
That can increase. So there's a term semi-supervised. That way you can increase instances because 1,500 are less, as ma'am is saying.
Yes,
Then
yes.
you can augment, or you can take some unsupervised or semi-supervised kind of thing. And as you will have much data, it will have more accuracy and more concerns.
Yes, ma'am, I'm trying for that. Actually.
Although, yeah, it's a nice presentation.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Problem. Happy to see it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, ma'am.
Any queries from the participant? All right. Thank you so much, Vandana ma'am, for your nice presentation. It was our last presentation from the participant side. So now I would request our eminent panelists to share their valuable insights with our women scholars so that they motivate to pursue their research smoothly, and they can also discuss the emerging research issues in the field of IR and the valuable resources which you keep on sharing as well during the presentations. Please, ma'am. Yes.
Namita, you go ahead.
Yeah. So it's nice to see all the presentation at a very short notice. They prepared in a day or two, and very happy to see the people, women are working in these prominent areas, and hope to see you again with a better insightful presentations and more participants and more knowledgeable and more experts on the panel. Thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Okay, so it was nice to be a part of this event, and I think we should grow this group of women who are working in this area of information retrieval. I would say only two things about the information retrieval research, that we first of all, the data which you are using for retrieval should be huge. Then only that will have impact globally. You may be able to get more results, some results which will impact the information retrieval globally, right? And see the latest literature in your area, because nowadays people are working, I mean, rate of papers which are coming out, everybody knows that. And good papers actually are coming out of very large, and it's necessary to be updated what is happening in this field currently, and then try to work from that point so that you will be able to make the impact on the research. I think that's all what I want to share, and it's very nice to be part of this event. Thank you so much for calling me.
Thank you so much, ma'ams, for your valuable suggestions. We all will certainly take away these suggestions and implement in our further research. As it's our initiative to offer a common platform where women researchers, especially working in IR, can come and discuss their research experiences. I would request all of you to give their inputs to how to take this initiative further and how can we expand this community and organize more such events in future. I would also request to all of you to share the problems as well that are hampering their research work. Might be because as we are having some senior researchers here, and some experienced researchers here, might be they will help you to solve it out. Please go ahead one by one. Yeah. Yes, I can see Dr. Rupali Patil there. Rupali Patil, ma'am, are you there? Yeah. Can we have your valuable inputs about this event?
It's a nice event, ma'am. It's a very good opportunity for the researchers who are doing the research in the information retrieval, and it will give immense pleasures that I am also the part of this event. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Deepshikha ma'am is also there. Ms. Deepshikha Poddar ma'am. Okay, might be she's not there. So I think now we can conclude our event here only, and we are looking forward to take this initiative further each year through this conference, or certainly we will invite the suggestions through group. We all are added in the group of women in IR Google groups. So you are always welcome to keep suggesting us to organize these kind of things, to extend our research work. That's all from my side. Thank you so much for being here, especially our panelists, our participants. Thank you so much. We are really honored to have you all here. Uh, it was a successful event from our side. It is smoothly went. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This is only the beginning. We are looking forward for more ventures through this platform. Thank you.
And thank you, Manjula ma'am. You organized it very well.
That's my pleasure, ma'am. That's my pleasure be part here with.
I was about to say this.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Poonam ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you. So can we leave now?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much for
Thank
giving
you so
your
much.
precious time, and we will looking forward for your inputs in future as well.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Sure,
much,
sure, sure. Keep
Namita
in
ma'am.
touch,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Thank you. So thank you all. Now we can leave.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you everyone.
Thank you, Manjira, and thank you, Manju and Mansi, for handling everything very in good manner and organized manner. It was a success, though it was a beginning, but we look forward to have such gathering in future also. Thank you.
Certainly, ma'am. Certainly, for sure. Thank you so much, Varsha. Thank you. Thank you all.